And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple Pill Pod, episode 4. This is the number one show in the world for dating. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and go follow the podcast Instagram and the TikTok tag below. DM me on the Instagram if you want to come onto the show, please, everyone. Shout out to my producer, Donnie, tonight, helping out, and Cornerstone Entertainment for helping with everything else in the background. Tonight, I got two beautiful girls with me, and I got two really awesome guys to make this night really spicy for y'all. Make sure to go follow them on the Instagrams. I think I didn't tag them yet, but I'll put them in the description later on. Um, let's go ahead and start though, and we're just gonna start with everybody's name, age, what's your education level, and what you do for work. Let's do ladies first tonight. Go ahead, right here. Name,
Okay.
age, work, and education.
So my name is Kaylin. I'm 26. I'm a bartender, a MUA. I do hair. I do a lot of different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about you?
I'm Toby. I'm 26.
A little bit closer for me.
Okay, I'm Toby. I'm 26. I have my own lash business and I also bottle service on the weekends.
Okay. Hustler. Hustlers. Both of these girls are hustlers. All right, let's start right here. Let's go with you, man. What's your name, age, education, job?
My name is Stefan. I just got here. I'm 34, and I work at an aerospace company.
Okay. And what about you, bro?
What's going on, guys? Throne, Julian Throne, Mr. Throne to the sexy ladies out there. Um, I dropped out of high school, got into entrepreneurship, sales, and networking. I've been doing that ever since. I'm 28 years young, and we're just looking to go ahead and continuously develop ourselves and get better.
Okay. Nice, man. Okay. I like the entrepreneurs. I feel like we got a few entrepreneurs all at the table. It's gonna be a good show. All right, so to start it all off, let's talk about something that I just saw recently again in the news on Dallas, Texas TV. Which shout out to y'all, Dallas, Texas TV. A big thing that was posted this week was there's a Facebook group for cheaters or to catch your cheater, to catch your husband or whatever. There's a whole Facebook group for it because apparently Dallas Fort Worth is the number one and number two city for cheating for some reason. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this. Ladies, I want to know who do you let's ask you first. Who do you think cheats more, men or women?
um, that's really hard. I feel like men get caught for it more. Um, but that's not to say that they do it more. But I feel like I don't know. Women can be a little sneakier, so I feel like I'm not even trying to sell us out like that. So I'm gonna go with men. I'm just gonna say men. Men cheat more. Yeah.
Okay, all right. She's not gonna just give it up. All right, go ahead. What do you think?
I'm I'm gonna say men too, only just because of all my friends. It's always their man cheating, and I've
Mhm.
never really had any of my homegirls cheat.
Never.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe there's a trend going there, but we'll see. What about you, man? What do you think? Do you think men or women cheat more?
I'm gonna have to say men. I think men do it more.
More.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
because it's simple to us. It ain't no. I don't
No
feel like it's a.
emotional
Right.
connection.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a deep emotion. It's just go.
Yeah.
So
Really honest, man. What about you, bro?
So, I believe that, back in the day in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, it was more men. But recent studies since 2016 have shown that I believe it's up 40% for the women. So there's a lot of men out here in the sexual dating marketplace that really aren't getting as much play as women think. There's probably a top percentage of men that do, and they have the ability to, they have the options to, but we all know that women are getting them DMs
I
on
agree
a
with that.
constant basis.
I agree
So
with that.
So it might be increased now, but back in the day,
Yeah.
it wasn't
But
that
it's
way.
like
What-
y'all are doing the
Yeah, right.
DMing.
Women are
So
getting the
it's
DMs,
like
but y'all are the
Depends on
ones
the man.
sliding.
yeah,
into
y'all
the
are doing the
DMs.
DMing.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I agree with him though. It depends on the man, right? Like,
yeah.
isn't it
Right.
only certain type of men or men that are capable, as he's saying, who have those options? Do you think most men have those options? Like, I want to know. But like, what do you think? Do you think a lot of guys are able to cheat, or only a few amount?
I do think
What
there is
percentage?
only a few amount. Like I would probably say there's probably a good 25-30% of men who can't. Just because I wouldn't even say can't. It's just probably not with the women that they would want.
Okay.
You
That's a good
know?
way of
Yeah.
saying it.
So what about you? Do you think
What?
do you think that guys are are cheating, or wait, I worded that completely wrong. Like, do you think that they're? Now I'm confused. I lost what I was saying. What did
Mm.
I ask you?
You said, what's the percentage
Oh
of
yeah, what's the percentage? Do you think? How many
Mm.
guys do you think are acting like this?
Cheating?
Yeah,
All.
guys, what do y'all think? How many? Like,
Well,
what do you think the percentage of men are that are doing this type of stuff? Do you think that it's most men or just a few?
I think it's half and half. I think every dude wants to do it, but every dude know he can't do it.
Okay.
They're
Like
not
most
smooth
dudes,
enough.
yeah, most dudes can't get away with it even if they do. Like you cheat, your girl's she's out.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
So
they want to.
every dude wants to. Yeah, every
What
dude.
do you think the
What?
percentage is though? If you
Every
could put,
guy wants to?
That scares me.
Two's better than one. Every dude wants to.
Ugh.
hey, why don't you explain to
Wants
them
to-
why every guy might want to though? I'd like
Yeah.
to hear an explanation for this. Julian.
So, studies have shown that I believe less than 4 to 5% of men are getting the swipe rights on apps like Tinder and Bumble. So it's a very small percentage of men that even get that play online. Most men don't have the balls or have the courage or to go up to women in person anymore. So they utilize all that online um, just game in general, and it doesn't really help them in in that specter.
Not at all.
So again, it just comes down to a lot of people. I don't like the term cheating. I believe it's a very high school type term. I believe it's very childish. I believe that whoever is in position to go ahead and exercise those options, they're going to go ahead and exercise those options if readily available.
Okay. Yeah. If he's high value enough.
I wanted to piggyback on that. I think that the online stuff is strictly like for the women. They dominate that. Like we don't. I feel like in person you have a better chance in person of talking to a girl than doing it online.
Yes.
Like they say, 88% of dudes online they swiping. They don't even want you.
Yeah.
That's a small percentage. Like, but in person you can showcase your charisma. You might be funny. You might have some redeeming characteristics in person that she will never see online.
Mhm.
So I like cold approach. That's my favorite thing to do. But
We like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
I love just going out cold approaching girls. But online is just it's almost trash. But
I mean, because like with the online thing, you kind of got to think about like how many people are probably reaching out to this girl.
hundreds.
Like social media is super international, so you have like so many different spectrums of people that have access to this one person. So, like you said, like meeting somebody in person is definitely going to get you a lot further than online
Oh,
because
And
you're
that's
just one
why
of many.
Instagram has become the #1 dating app in the world.
Not unless you're on there and you're like, on yachts with million, you know what I'm saying? You're on yachts with,
Yeah.
Mhm.
then yeah, you DM, yeah, she's gonna go for it. But the average guy, no.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I got a few sitting in there. Sitting.
With
that
the
been
yachts?
sitting.
They
With the
don't-
yachts or just
they
random
don't
guys?
miss.
Shit, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, even the yachts.
Yeah.
Man, I can't imagine this opportunity. Can y'all imagine that? Yeah, that's crazy. No, so like I want to know though, if you were with a guy who cheated, like would you stay with them? Are you the type of girl that immediately, as soon as a guy does something like that, like you're done? Or if he was a certain value, would you like kind of deal with it? Like,
Okay, so me when I was younger, I forgave for cheating, but with doing that, I also learned that once you forgive them, it's kind of giving them the key to do it again. Like they already know, okay, I
Mhm.
can do this, say this, and I'll get away with it.
you're
So
enabling.
yes, you're enabling. So me now, personally, cheating is something that I just do not tolerate. Like if you cheat, you go do that. Like go find who you are because clearly you don't know what you want. So go find who you are and what you want. But I do feel you on the sense of if a guy has a certain stature, but I'm not like a woman who's not going to get things for myself. So that's not going to keep me with somebody.
It's not gonna
Just
sway you.
it's not going to sway me just because somebody has money or they're doing this for me to
Mhm.
stay with a cheater. Like, no, I'm too deep for that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, some people I think cannot handle cheating at all. I read about it all the time online. Something I argue with a lot of red pill guys about sometimes is the fact that I go on the subreddit for red pill women, women that are super traditional conservative women that love to
Yeah.
do everything for their man, and even they cry and complain about the cheating and stuff like that. The women on there will even tell the men like, y'all need or tell the other women like, you need to leave the guy if he's doing that to you, and they're traditional, really conservative women that really should, or they're the type of women that would want a man even if he does something like that, and even they don't want it,
Yeah.
So I've been convinced recently that I don't think any woman wants that stuff.
No, because I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of things in life is all mental. So it's like if you're not feeding my mental in the way I need it to be, then anything else you do doesn't matter because it's like literally almost everything with life is mental.
All right, well, what do you think?
Would I stay?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'd leave immediately because I've stayed before.
stay a little closer if you can.
I've stayed before in the past.
Mhm.
But I feel like now because of that past relationship that I've had and I've stayed and like continuously like he would cheat, I feel like now I just like I said, I feel like all men cheat. So I feel like I self-sabotage in relationships. Like I don't even want to pursue a relationship with a guy right now. Like I think I'm just doing my own thing. And like Kaylin said, I'm at the point where, I can do for myself what a man can do for me too. So it's like,
You need to be careful and make sure that one guy doesn't make you a misandrist for the rest of your life, and you just hate men forever because
Fact.
that one thing happened.
honestly, I feel like right now I'm at that point. I mean,
It's okay. There's a lot of guys who hate women because they bail on dates with them or do all types of stuff. So I think both sexes go through a period where you might hate the other for a little
Yeah,
bit
I
because
We're
of
not all
something
the
they do
same.
to you.
I'm
Well,
not
can I ask
saying-
y'all really quickly, ladies? The gentlemen that went ahead and took those steps, were they gentlemen that were fully respected by you in muscles, money, and game simultaneously? Or were they lacking in certain areas where you lost respect over time and you just decided to go ahead and move on with your life and do your own thing?
I feel like I mean, if you ask me, nobody just has it all together. Like
Very few.
very few. And
Very
even
few.
those few, like I just feel like there's no such thing as perfect or everybody having it all together. Like everything's gonna come with something, So I don't know. I just feel like it is a combination of both. Like it's like I did respect you at first,
Mhm.
and then once you showed me certain things, it started deducting points.
Mhm.
And then
They
I'm
weren't
like,
as ambitious as you might have thought.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it's just about the ambition. It's just it wasn't feeding me what I needed. As far as emotionally,
weren't good and
physically,
bad.
anything.
Huh?
That too, like that'll get you.
Hey,
outta
it's the
here.
meat, man. Money, energy, attention, time. They don't need just the dick. They sometimes
Right,
need
no.
the energy,
Yeah.
attention, and time too.
Because there are like the rose toy now, and that does that does it for me. So
And I believe that being present is very necessary in all situations as well.
Yeah.
Again, this is a constant effort that men should strive to. Like I think that a lot of men think that they've arrived somewhere when they've reached a certain point, but there's no arrival point for us as men.
I feel like it can be, it really just depends on like each individual person, because everybody's kind of has their different requirements, so I just think it just depends on each person. Like everybody's situation is different.
Do you believe that because y'all are both 26, y'all have probably some of the best options available to you right now before you head into your epiphany stage, which is about 27 to 32, which you start prioritizing protection, parental aid, and provision more than, the hot guy at the foam cannon party that you would normally meet. And, it's just the right time, right place, right situation. And you guys will go ahead and decide to go ahead and have some fun together.
I mean, if you ask me, that's something that I've always looked for. Money or your status or any of that has never meant anything to me because I've met a lot of guys who have status that, if you ask me, are lame.
Would you call yourself, so are you
Mhm.
traditional? Would you call yourself like traditional? You want to settle down and have kids and all that?
I would call myself pretty traditional, but I guess I would call myself fluid.
What does that mean?
I
You
could
can be a
go.
little bit off the mic. You don't have to be right on.
I could go. It just depends. Like if I'm vibing with somebody and they're more like free spirit, not traditional. Hey, I want to go do this. I want to do that. If I like you enough, I'm down to go do that too. But if I am with a guy and I like him and he's like, I want to settle down. I want to have a family. I'm cool with that too. Like it's just all about the vibes of what I'm feeling.
What about
What the
you?
guy wants to.
Am I
Yeah,
traditional?
and what he
Yeah.
wants. Yeah.
No,
You
I don't
wouldn't-
want kids. And I just honestly believe I don't really think people are meant to be with one person for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She's poly, guys. I'm just kidding.
I used to never agree with that, but as I get older, I'm kind of like,
No.
ah.
Mm-mm.
The
I think it's based
experience.
on how much you experience. There's
Yeah.
people that are married virgins and they're very happy together
Yeah.
40, 50 years later. But if you sit there and you go experience the alpha widow thing, you know,
Yeah,
if you sit there and if you mess around with all these really awesome people, you're never going to meet somebody that
exactly.
meets the par of all those men. Same with guys. Like if you have a relationship with a girl that cooks and cleans and does all this stuff for you, and then you date nothing but these Tinder hoes after that aren't doing anything for you, you're never going to take a girl serious until she does that wifey stuff again or whatever that one girl did that you really liked. I truly think that we can both be alpha widowed in that sense. You know, like you're gonna have certain things that are your par, and you're not gonna want to go under your par.
I got a question for Caitlin, I believe is your name.
Kaylin, yeah.
Kaylin, yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed that you mentioned that you don't look at money per se. You don't look for money. However, you did say you look at things like parental provision.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have parental provision without money?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that that isn't a factor, but I'm not gonna solely just talk to somebody or take them seriously just because they have money. Like, there's a lot of other things that has to go into that because money is
You could
not
be a dork
something.
and have money, huh?
Yeah,
exactly.
money is not
Exactly.
something that I can't get on my own, or money doesn't secure certain things, you know. So it doesn't matter. But I understand why you would ask that question, just because it's like that parental protection. It does come with having a certain
It's like
Amount
a
of money coming in.
yeah, but that's not gonna solely keep me there just because I'm like, oh well, he's making money.
it's
So
an ingredient, but it's not the key recipe.
exactly.
And this is why I mentioned earlier that there's no arrival point for men. There's a constant growing
I agree with
in many areas of your life.
And that's with
Especially if
anybody.
you plan. But again, men lead, women follow in many aspects of life. So you have to realize that as men, if we truly want to be the leader of our households, especially as an example to our children in the future, we can't just settle. We can't just stop
Take
at
your
any
foot off the
point.
gas.
You
I
can't
agree.
stop and just think that, oh, I got the money, I got a little bit of muscles, I got some game, but it's always you're growing in those areas till the day that you die as a man.
Facts.
And
I think the
that's
key
what
thing
matters.
is like staying genuine, you know, because I feel like a lot of people let a lot of things define them instead of staying true to who they are and their purpose and what we were all put here to do, you know. And yeah, that's just what it is. Like, people get lost in the money and get lost in the clout and get lost in all these other things,
Comfort.
and they lose the true, you know, root to everything, the reason why we're here.
Right.
So the main thing is just staying genuine. Like,
It's easy for a man to get comfortable. All you got to do is give him some cheap entertainment, some cheap
yeah, look at the strip clubs.
JJ, and it's just, it is what it is. The growth, it never ends for us
Yeah.
as men. And if you truly take that into consideration and you actually exemplify that, not just talk about it, not just just have discussions about it, but you actually are practicing that on a daily basis. I truly believe that even in situations where there may be some infidelity, women will look at you and they'll be like, you know what? This guy doesn't stop. He's ambitious. He is looking to go ahead and make sure that I'm taken care of, our children are taken care of. And even if there are some moments where he has the opportunity to go ahead and sleep with another woman, I believe that once all the drama fades, because there's going to be drama no matter what,
Mhm.
once the drama fades, a lot of women, they sit back and they think, well, do I have any other better options at this very
Exactly.
moment?
Exactly.
That's sad.
Mhm.
Women will take cheating from the right man.
Mm-hmm.
It's also based off how beautiful you are too. I like to explain to guys in the red pill space sometimes that women are truly the choosers. So if they mark themselves as a player, they make themselves look a certain way. When y'all or if you're a good girl that gets out of a relationship, you're never going to consider the guy that looks nothing like a player for actual serious relationship. You might go and sleep with them, but you're never going to consider that man as like actual relationship material. So I always try to teach them, it's bad to show yourself as a player. It might backfire. It might kick your ass later on if you try to act
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
You know.
I have a personal experience, so
Yeah, go ahead, tell it.
I can agree with that.
You got a story for us?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say a story, but it's just a guy who, you know, to any other, I wouldn't even say any other woman, but to other women, you know, he might, you know, bag them, you know, and get what he wants from them. But it's kind of like no.
He's spinning plates.
Yeah, it's like that's not attractive to me. It's kind of like, okay, I know, let me stay away from you because I've been hurt before. I'm sure we all can say we've been hurt before. So if I see certain signs in someone, you show me certain traits, and you think it's going to make me chase you or whatever, it's literally pushing me the other way.
Well, I had a weird question to ask. So I want to know with the ladies, how many people is too many people for you to have sex with? You think? Like, what is a number too high for a girl y'all's age?
As far as like body count,
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about other people's body count. I don't even like to do that. I'm not.
But I mean, but it's just saying, what do you think is like too much? Like, what do you think is just
I've
too
heard some wild shit.
like
So
50, 100?
I've heard triple. Yeah.
Wow.
Triple digits.
Wow.
Triple
I
digit.
have, yeah.
Oh, okay.
At
And what's so
26?
funny is like guys would know that, and it's like they still want to hit, like
They're not getting commitment though. They're not getting commitment.
no, but it's like to me, I feel like as dudes, you just have some boundaries. Like it's like I don't know. Let me just be quiet.
No, it's just a stress relief at that point. It's just a stress relief. They're not gonna commit to that.
Yeah,
If
I
a chick
mean,
told me she had 100 bodies, I'd be like, okay, cool.
but you still hitting?
Yeah, I wouldn't take her serious.
So guys are animals. They will.
I won't take her
They will
serious.
just focus, but they would never put a ring on it.
No,
Like that girl is
never.
gonna have a hard time ever getting a ring unless
Never.
he's a fucking simp loser.
Yeah, unless
that
he doesn't
has
know,
no
unless she
idea.
lies about it.
Yeah, unless
she
she
has
lies.
a lie.
Yeah,
She has a lie.
Yeah, and I'll play devil's advocate. I mean, I don't encourage men to stick their eggplant into whatever is readily available. I believe you should be a little bit more picky. I do believe that you should have a little bit higher type standards. But like I said, I mean, I could ask y'all, do you believe that to get consensual sex from the opposite sex for men, do you think that it's easier for women or men? So that's the biggest thing. If a man studies are showing right now
It's
that
easier for women.
Mhm.
studies are
course,
showing
100%.
right now that men ages 18 to 30 right now are completely sexless. They are not getting any play at
What?
all
I
whatsoever.
know a lot of dudes who get no play.
Really?
30%
Tell me
of them.
more.
I know a lot of
Like-
men
like
get no
one-third
play.
of 'em, yeah.
A lot of men get
So
no play.
there's-
But it's because you don't see
1/3?
these guys. You don't see the guys sitting on video games at their mom's house that are
Yeah.
25 years
Well,
old.
They're invisible.
Not
You
to
don't see
mention
them.
the pornography epidemic that has allowed men to get that dopamine just from their screens.
Mhm.
So they're not out there
Okay.
actually hunting. They're not actually out there, like I said, doing things in person.
Mhm.
They'll rely on the online sources that are available, and
OnlyFans.
they don't have the courage to go up there to the hot girl at the bar or whatever it is. And it's funny because I always tell people that sales and dating are very correlated. If you're not willing to go up to the hot girl at the bar, you're probably not willing to go up to the person
The
that's
key
good
is
in business.
confidence.
That's good in business. That exemplifying their good traits to the marketplace that are actually looking good to the marketplace. So that's one big thing that we're seeing right now.
Mhm.
I got a question to spin off of that. If you ladies think about the last 3 dudes y'all dealt with, why'd you deal with them? Were they tall? Were they having money? Were they athletes? Were they
There was
'cause-
something special.
yeah, they had a
Probably.
big time redeeming factor. You're not dealing with the 5'8" guy who works at Target.
No.
He's invisible
No.
to you. You're gonna ignore him.
Mhm.
That's not always true.
I gotta pull
Like,
up
I'm
in a
like, no.
BMW with a gold watch to get women. I can't be working at Target. It's not
Honestly,
gonna happen.
it's all about the vibe. It's all about your vibe.
Right.
It's
and-
the
Right.
vibe, guys. It's the vibe,
No.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Because
gotta
like
do a
I'm
merch
not
for
even
that
gonna
one.
front and say like I haven't talked to a
Were the
guy
last
with a
3 guys
regular
you dealt with
job.
broke?
Huh?
No,
Were they broke?
Were the last 3 guys you dealt with
but
broke?
I didn't choose them. They chose me.
We always do.
Were they broke?
Yes.
No, they weren't broke.
Okay, so your last 3 weren't broke. Come on, man.
But I've definitely
Women
passed
like
up on a
providers.
dude wearing like a Rolex
Yeah.
or driving
A
new
Bentley.
Yeah.
But he's
Like,
a
or
dork.
whatever.
But,
Yeah, I
but,
was
but,
just
but,
about to
but they
say.
look
No.
goofy, probably.
No, they don't look goofy.
They
actually
don't.
look really good. But
It's just
Why
the
would you
vibe wasn't
pass?
there.
because
Their communication sucks.
I mean,
And it's not even the
something- it was something.
communication.
No,
it's
they-
just the vibe. Like
or they
It's the
let
game.
those
It's the
type of
game.
things
Yeah,
speak
you
for
can
them.
be
Proper
attractive.
communication.
I'm telling
You
you,
could be
the key,
attractive
what
to
it
women.
is what you were saying earlier. It's confidence. Like you just gotta wear the confidence, even if you
Mhm.
don't think you're the most attractive, the most rich, the most this, the most that. You have to have the confidence. That's for anybody, because there's been a lot of people that, and I'm gonna say a lot of people, but you know what? I'm not even going too deep in that. But initially, there's some people I've talked to that I wouldn't have initial attraction to And then after I talk to them, vibe with them, I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I like you. And they got a lot further than some people who had more than them and looked
Right.
better than them.
Right.
They probably came off wrong though. Guys who
They
have all
failed
that,
the shit tests.
they come off crazy.
They failed the shit tests and they didn't get to close the deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. I can be a little wishy-washy sometimes.
Well,
So.
I'll tell you what I think it is. I think what it is that guy. A guy can be attractive. You know, he looks good to
Mhm.
you. You know, he has money too. He has the nice car. He has whatever. But if he didn't do a lot to make the money for that, say he's a trust fund kid, say he makes it
Scammer.
quickly with drugs, or just say he's just some type of person, he could still be a dork. Like he may have
Facts.
not got the
Met so
traits.
many.
He might have not got the traits when he was making that money to have that confidence in that
Mhm.
in that vibe you like. He doesn't got that vibe because he got that shit easily. He's privileged in some way.
Mhm.
And then a
Privileged
lot
dudes are
of
fucking
people.
dorks, dude. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
I
Because
agree.
they didn't have to work to get anywhere or get anything, so they look like a dork to a real
Yeah.
woman. Yeah.
And they're not genuine. Like that's just the biggest thing. Like people just don't be genuine. Like you want to live through your money and
Well, there's a
whatever
lot of
how
fake
you
guys
got
too
it.
now today. Yeah, there's lots of fake shit going on, so it's hard to tell who's lying, who's real. Everything is
I
fake
can read
today.
it.
I think leading with money for a man is the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
I tell all the
Couldn't
dudes I
agree
know,
more.
don't lead. If you lead with money, you're a customer. She's gonna keep you in the customer frame.
Or they call it a trick.
Exactly. Yeah,
these
you
days.
hit on the head. I said, cause
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I don't lead. I've never led with money. If you don't like my
Mhm.
personality and the vibe of my swag, that's it. I don't care.
And you know what? That's what a lot of guys do. Like they'll try to get you by flexing their
Mhm.
That's
money.
dumb.
And then
like
whenever
it's-
you are solely there for their money,
Exactly.
they're
Get
like,
out.
oh,
Right.
they're like, oh, you're a gold
You're using
digger.
me.
You're this. You're
Yes.
using me, sir. Then why'd you come
That's
off
what you
that
led
way?
with. That's
You
what you
should have
led
showed me
with.
your heart first.
Yes.
Pay
At
me
our
back.
very
You showed me
essence-
your pockets, and that's what I'm interested in.
And at our
Thank
very
you.
essence, men are success objects.
Yeah.
Women are sexual objects. Again, it's not to disrespect women or anything like that. It's just letting them know, like, these are the traits that we look for in each other.
Being real, yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
No, I didn't get to ask you, Toby. Though, what do you think is too high of a high body count? Like, what do you think is a number that man, that girl's just doing too much if she's that high
200.
I mean, I've never even met anyone with that.
in the triple digit?
No, Well, I don't even ask. I mean, I know my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
I know
because
what they're doing.
yeah, because well, y'all know how women are.
Women don't
They're gonna
discuss it.
reinforce each other
We're
no matter what.
disgusting.
No, that y'all don't discuss it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said we're
If a
disgusting.
woman
I
had a body
mean,
count that high, she wouldn't tell nobody.
heard
I've
that
like
too.
seen people
It's
like
always 3 for the women.
Yeah,
Uh,
7, 3.
I'm gonna be
Always.
honest.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's that TikTok that's been going wild. I think there's this girl that posted a TikTok that had like over 156
Damn.
body count, and she literally listed like how she met each and every one of them.
Damn.
Yeah, it's called the.
Oh, so she
TikTok
truly
body
remembers.
count.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like,
yeah, it's
I
a
don't-
body count challenge
How
on
old
And
was
TikTok.
that's an
right now.
anomaly.
It is.
I'm not saying that all women do that or have the availability or have the options to do that, but they definitely have more options than the
Than a
regular
man,
type
yeah,
men
yeah.
in 2022.
Yeah.
Yikes. So I want to know. We'll ask the guys this one first. So, guys, because this is a dating show, the people watching might be single and want to hit y'all up or something. So, I want to know what makes you a good relationship partner. What makes you unique, man?
What makes me unique? Man, that's on the
Like, what do you bring to the table for a relationship? I want to know, like, what makes you different from any. Like, if a girl's watching right now and she might be interested in you, what makes you a good partner? What makes you unique?
The stability. I'm a rock. Like I don't get moved by like the ups and downs of life. Like I'm stoic.
Mhm.
Like I was taught to be that, and that's just what I am. And it's a downfall because when women want you to show emotion, or when they want me to show, I don't. There's no
Mhm.
need for me to. And then when they don't want me to show it, I'm not showing it anyway. So
Mhm.
I just try to be stoic at all times. I try to be extremely masculine at all times. You're not gonna get no feminine acting out of me. You're the woman. I'm the man. That's that I do believe in gender roles. So I feel like I'm pretty traditional most of the time.
Yeah. No, I got you. What about you, man? Like, what do you bring to the table that you think puts you above other men for relationships?
I just like I said, I don't see any arrival points for me or any other men, especially if you want to be the best of the best, if you want to be in that top percentage of men that get these options readily available. Just to piggyback off of him, stoicism is huge. I don't believe that it's taught enough or it's exemplified enough in the minority communities, unfortunately. We see a lot of just bickering back and forth. We see a lot of yelling. We see a lot of just over projecting back and forth. And as long as you're a man that truly knows that if you've done everything to mitigate a issue and find solutions, and you're still getting crazy backlash in return from whatever woman you're dealing with, then the only option that you have is to walk away.
That's it.
The only option that you have is to walk away, and you do it respectfully. You don't have to be some crazy tyrant. You don't have to be some crazy dude. Uh, Even though we've seen many cases of that, especially in the minority communities. But again, it just comes down to stoicism. It just comes down to being that rock, being the person that finds the solutions more quickly than anyone else.
Letting her emotional waves hit you and just go over. Yeah, no, I agree, man. Ladies, what do y'all bring to a relationship? We're gonna start with you this time, Toby. What do you bring to a relationship that makes you truly unique, a good girlfriend? I know right now you're a little bit of a misandrist and you hate men, but if you were gonna be in a good relationship, like what do you really bring to the table to a good guy? Yeah, there might be a guy out here, 3.6 billion people on YouTube.
What do I bring? I'm very caring. Like I care about others like way before I care about myself. I do that with anyone, like my family members, people that I love the most. I really like put myself out there for them. And I did that with my last relationship, like my only serious relationship. I really, went like to the moon and beyond for him. And I mean, I'd be willing to do that again for someone. It's just it I just would want like to be returned back. But I'm also really funny too, so
Okay.
She is funny. This is literally my funniest friend.
and I'm independent.
That.
Independent, guys.
Right.
What that means?
Kaylin, what do you think? If you had to tell us, like your best feature, about a relationship, like what makes you the best?
So I would kind of like piggyback on what she says, kind of why we're friends. I'm very caring at the same time, so I have the ability to consider other people's feelings before my own, and at the same time, like I'm very adaptable. I'm very resilient, so I'm not like the type of person who one little issue and I'm just like, oh, I'm out of here. Like I'm able to withstand different things that happen, and yeah, I just truly care. Like I tend to put other people before me, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a bad thing when it's the wrong guy.
Right.
But if it was for the right guy,
if
it'd be
it's a
great.
taker, then no, because like they say, takers, they don't have a limit. I'm a giver, and that's another thing that makes me who I am in a relationship because I'm very much a giver and I'm a pleaser and I like whoever I'm around, regardless of relationship, family, or whatever, to be happy. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure whoever's around me and dealing with me on a daily is happy.
Oh, hey, those are some really good relationship traits, honestly. Like I talk to people all the time about this stuff, and those are all really good traits for a relationship. I want to know. We'll start with you this time, man. In your last relationship, what did you do wrong, and what did she do wrong for it to end?
So currently, I've been in a 4-year relationship. It hasn't been perfect. There's definitely been lots of ups and downs, but I've also dealt with definitely different types of relationships in the past, whether it was having affairs with married women, whether it was a lot of different things. I've played a lot of different roles in my 20s when it came down to women, but I think what it comes down to is just not exemplifying everything fully in money, muscles, game, and simultaneously. A lot of men will focus on those three aspects in different seasons of their life, but they don't realize that if you actually focus on them simultaneously, they each compensate each other. And you can get a lot further with women from that point forward. And there's been times where, this relationship that I'm currently in has gotten to the point where it needs to end or whatever it is, but we continue fighting, we continue getting better, and that's what matters most. So that's really all it is. So it's exemplifying
Never
those three
giving up,
areas.
man.
Just again, not stopping as a man. You don't have a rival point. Doesn't matter how successful you get. Doesn't matter how much you know. There's always more to know. There's always more to achieve.
Yeah,
Man,
I agree with that.
you was knocking off married women, man.
I know. My face when he said that, I was like,
Hey, sometimes the husbands know about it, man. The cut culture is
Yeah,
insane
yeah,
today,
yeah.
dude.
it's scary.
I don't
It is
recommend it.
insane.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
weird to
recommend
me.
it.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's some weird shit. But what about you, dude? In your last relationship, what did you do something that was wrong,
Man,
and what did she do that was wrong?
I haven't been in a serious relationship in a very long time. I had one
That's
of the last.
very long.
Yeah, I want to know too.
I'm 34. I was in one when I was okay. I was in one last year for about 3 to 6 months. I was 33. She was 24. It lasted a couple months.
Hmm.
She had a lot of masculine traits, and it
Mm.
always pissed me off.
Like what?
Like she would say things that were masculine, dude, bro, I don't give a
But-
fuck, and it irked. I'm a masculine dude. If yours is here, then I have to raise mine way up here.
Wow, that's crazy.
We blew up one time in the car. We were driving one time in the car. We blew up, and that was just it. Like it's just like I couldn't take it no more. I'm like, nah, you're too masculine, bro. I'm not finna keep going way up here because you
You
want
got
know,
a
and I
boyfriend, not a
feel like-
girlfriend.
yeah.
That
I
is-
feel like that's what I've been
no.
hearing a lot lately.
a lot
though.
of women are raised like that now.
But I feel like too, it has something to do with the men not living in their masculine energy as well. Like I feel like women feel like they have to pick that up because a lot of men now, like they look for
Right.
the woman to do this, and that.
Mhm.
Like how you were saying, like as a man, like you kind of gotta have what you say, the money,
muscles,
the
yeah.
muscle, all that. Like for me, I personally need those certain things just because I wouldn't even say I'm masculine. I just have a strong personality. So it's kind of like in order for me to feel protected, you got to have these certain traits, And I've literally like I'm not gonna lie, I've dated a guy and he's told me like, oh yeah, you got like a lot of masculine energy, but I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that I like, I have all brothers, but I don't know. Like it's weird because he told me I was very masculine, but then I've had other guys tell me I'm very feminine at the same
It
time.
depends on the man you're
It
around.
depends on the man
Yeah. Right.
because the same guy who was telling me I was masculine would say I wasn't submissive, but I've also dated a guy who immediately I was submissive to.
Mhm.
So I think it all just depends on like how you carry yourself as a man. Like if you want that respect from a woman, you want this, you want that, you got to carry yourself as such, and she's gonna naturally follow because that's what it's naturally meant. The man is gonna lead, the woman's gonna follow. So if you're portraying these certain traits, and I'm not saying in the sense that you weren't. This is my
I
personal
did, but
experience.
I feel like she was just raised that way by her mom.
Yeah,
Her
and
mom and her stepdad literally raised her to be like that, and I combated with it for a while, and she was nice most days. But if she had something going on that time of the month, she would just get irritable. And
too much.
it was too much for me. I'm like, I don't tolerate that. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
can't
most
stand-
competition comes from their work. As soon as a woman has to go to work, as soon as women were forced into the workplace,
Mhm.
that's when the masculinity came out.
Had to.
But before they were getting into the workplace and having to go work for $1 and work under a boss,
They
and-
lived in their feminine.
Yes, they were always feminine. But now that they have to go work for their own money, that's why I always say, like your environment's your destiny. I don't blame women for who they are today. Just like I blame the men, and it's because men create the environment.
Mhm.
Men are the ones who shape. They're the ones plumbers. They're the ones building the towers. They're the ones who literally shape the environment that we're in. And everybody else is mostly like your environment is your destiny. And these women, it's just their destiny to have to work. Sadly,
If I would say when I get married, I don't want my wife to work. I don't want her to deal with that stress whatsoever.
We love
Yeah.
that.
I need you to focus
Like,
on
I was
some
gonna-
other stuff. I don't need you to focus on going 9 to 5 and with a paycheck. I don't need you to worry about that.
yeah, because then she'll be in her true feminine role too. Yeah.
And then it's truly working. Like I feel like people forget that like a relationship is also like a unit. So if you're making sure these certain things are taken care of, it's easier for her to make sure these certain things are taken care of. But it's like if you're not playing your role and she's not playing her role, of course it's gonna be freaking chaos.
It's a team game, and
Yeah.
Exactly.
the guy, I like to use this analogy. The guy is the tank in the video game. He has to take all the damage, take all the shit from life. He has to just sit there and get beat up at work in his construction job, whatever it is. And the woman is sitting there healing him, keeping him up,
Yeah.
keeping him up, supporting,
Mhm.
support. But we're not playing the game anymore. Everybody's playing this new game where we're all just running around
Individuals.
doing what we want. Individual game, 1v1 games and stuff, and then competing with each other, being like, "Oh, you make more money than me. I don't like you."
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So I got a general question though, to the ladies. Now I know that you trying to think about how to ask the question, but it sounds like to me you're fine with your man taking care of you while you stay at home while he works. So do you believe in 50-50?
I was just about to say, when you start to rely on a man like that, that's when they start to think they
Here-
can go and
here
do
we
what
go.
they want. No,
Yes.
it's not here we go. I've seen it happen. So that, I mean, as good as it sounds, yes, I'd love to stay home, but I love to have my own thing going on for myself, and I love to have my own money. And just like, right, like you saying, like she said, bro, and I don't give a fuck, me and you would not get along because, like, I'm going to talk to you how I want.
Crazy.
Oh.
Okay.
Not crazy because I will be respectful, but like, yeah, no. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and it's
She's gonna
however
talk
I
her
need to
shit.
say it. So yeah, I don't I don't want a man to take care of me. I mean, buy me things and, surprise me with gifts,
You want
but
to be pampered,
yeah,
but not
but
taken
I
care of.
want to work. I want to have my own money because in case
Why?
why? I've had I'm not going to say like who it was, but I had someone very close to me where I'm not going to say she fully relied on him, but he cheated, he stepped out, and she called me, crying, just saying like, what am I going to do? How am I, just how am I, what am I going to do for myself? Like, because he was the provider, he was the breadwinner. And I just like don't ever want to feel like that. I don't ever want to feel like I'm stuck somewhere just because I have to rely on someone to take care of
One,
me.
one more question. Was he a high earner?
A high earner?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like you make a lot of money.
Like made a lot of money? Not
Yeah.
a lot, but I mean, definitely like more than average, I would say.
Hmm.
So,
And
and
that burned you. Did you see in that example?
yes, because it was someone very, very close to me and someone that I put on a high pedestal.
Well, I'll be honest. Like at the end of the day, as far as in 2022, I think that a lot of men would like for life to go back to the
Yeah.
1950s and
Yeah.
everything that we have, but we definitely have come so far from that point. I don't think that it's a bad thing for a woman to have some type of side endeavor or like side hustle,
No.
depending on the specific endeavor. But it comes down to, you still want to rely majority on the man that you're with because
Yeah,
we
I
lead
feel
and
like
and women
like
follow.
like they said, at the end of the day, we going back to like you said, the lead and the follow thing. I feel like me, if I'm being completely honest, yes, I would want my man to take care of me, but me saying that it's not
Mhm.
saying that I'm not gonna do what I need to do as a woman, or not that I'm gonna contribute to um our elevation or our growth. It's just like,
Especially when children are involved.
yeah, it's like you're the head of the household and I'm just here to make sure everything is moving. So it's kind of like you take everything, but that doesn't mean that I can't be here at home building a business, or
Mhm.
I can't be at home doing this, doing that. But also at the same time, I feel her with the having your own money. And the reason why I still believe in having your own money is just because I know, and not saying every guy, but I know a lot of guys do look at that as like a sense of control,
Mhm.
So I'm paying this, I'm doing this for you. I have a say so on this, and this. And not saying that I wouldn't consider what my man has to say or his opinion about things, but at the same time, I just know when a certain amount of money is being used to contribute, there comes with a certain amount of control. And that's what a guy looks for. Like, I deserve this say so. I deserve that because I'm making sure you are okay.
Responsibility comes with authority.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I also
exactly.
believe I got this from an online indirect mentor, Patrick Bet David. He says that whatever relationship that you're in, the man should have his own money, the woman should have her own money. As far as bank accounts go, y'all should share a bank account,
Mhm.
and the man should also have something secret, like not necessarily that he hides from anyone, but he should have money put away that no one really knows about
I feel like
as
that's
well
for both,
Yeah.
simultaneously.
both
Could
parties.
you could, but again, if you fully trust that man at the time to go ahead
Mhm.
and take care of you and the children that y'all are both bearing together, then it comes down to that trust factor as well, and you being able to go ahead and fully respect that man.
But I mean,
Mhm.
me having my own money and going to my own thing is not respecting you. It's just kind of like the instance of what she was saying with her friend. Like, she relied on him, he stepped out, and now she's like, "What I'm gonna do?" As a woman, and it's for any
He was
human.
probably
It's
a
not. It's
coward.
not. It's not man or a woman thing. I just feel like at the end of the day, we are responsible for our own
He
realities.
was probably a coward. He was probably someone that unfortunately folded under pressure. He probably did not admit, specific wrongdoings or whatever it is that they specifically had together. And that was the biggest thing. Again, when I tell men that if you want to go ahead and exercise those options, if you do get caught, if you do
Man
get
up.
confronted with it, don't be a coward about it.
Man up.
Mhm.
Don't lie. Don't try to be
Hmm.
passive about it.
Remember?
And that's the biggest thing that we've seen right now is just like if you are in a position to go ahead and exercise those options as a man, which it's not readily available as it is to women. So if you are in a position, then that means you're doing something right in life. That means you're on point, you're pretty sharp, you have things going correctly for you. Again, I don't advocate that men go ahead and stick their eggplant into everything that's readily available because that can create problems for you financially as well. And when you build your resources from the ground up, especially us as minorities here, you know, it's not as prevalent for us, that it's not as socially accepted, and we realize that's a little bit more difficult coming from the real dirt to really build yourself up as a man in this space. If you have those options, again, just make sure you're not a coward. Make sure you're not lying, because your woman will respect you more for just accepting it for what it is, talking about it, being a great communicator. Okay, communication is the biggest barrier, I believe, especially for us as minorities. Like, you got to up your communication level. You really do. You got to make sure that you're taking full responsibility and authority. Right now, we're seeing many couples, many marriages where the man is responsible for a lot of things, but he doesn't necessarily have the authority. And responsibility without authority is slavery.
I can see that.
I got a question. Were they married?
hmm
So even if he was doing all that foolishness, if she would have divorced him, I mean, she would have cleaned him out.
I don't know.
She would have got her pound of flesh. I mean,
Right.
she
No,
would
yeah.
have been made whole. So she could have
Yeah.
punished him if she wanted
we
to.
didn't make it that far into the conversation. I just know when I got that phone call, I literally said to myself, I don't ever want to be like
It gave
that.
you PTSD just getting the
It-
phone call,
it
huh?
did.
Yeah,
It did.
you
I
learn
already
from
have
experience.
PTSD from my last
Yeah,
relationship.
if you're
so-
married to a guy though, things are, if you're just together, it's one thing. But if you're married,
no, yeah,
it's way different. I cheat on you, we're married. I'm a millionaire making 6 figures. You divorce me, getting the house, the cars, the kids, child support, alimony, half my retirement account. You're
Right.
cleaning somebody out.
Yeah.
doing that.
Unless
So,
y'all signed a prenup.
yeah, well,
Yeah, but prenups don't work once children are involved.
yeah, they gotta
Okay.
be,
They
they
don't
gotta be
work as well.
ironclad. They gotta be ironclad nowadays.
Yeah,
They always need to be updated.
I had a question. I see up here. Can you click that for me? The question for the ladies. What was it? It says, question for the ladies. What's the longest you've gone without sex?
For me, it's been 2 years.
shit.
hmm
I don't buy that.
I don't buy it either.
That was a
That's
long time
crazy.
ago, but it was 2 years. She said
Okay.
was the
I
longest.
mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Chad, if
I
y'all are
can
buying
see.
it-
I can see how it's kind of possible. Like I can, like
I legit
I guess,
went 2
I don't know.
years.
all right. What about you, Toby? What's the longest you've gone?
I think it was like 6 or 7 months.
6 or 7 months.
I think
The
it was.
question is how long have y'all been in bottle service?
Me, bottle service or like industry? Because
Just
I
industry in general. Y'all being around high
Industry-
value men.
Damn near my
All-
whole career of ever working.
I'm gonna say 4 years.
Okay, and you say that what was yours? How many years?
No,
How many months?
6, 7 months.
Okay, that's a little bit more believable than you, Miss Kaylin.
Let me,
I mean,
If she was young, I can kind of see it. Like if it was like a 16 to 18 break or like a 17 to 19.
okay,
break
so
or
look, let me
something,
tell
like,
y'all,
I
the
don't know.
2-year break was when I lost. Okay, I'm getting pretty deep here,
Yeah.
but I lost my virginity probably when I was like 17. I didn't have a sex again until I was 19.
I knew if she was young.
I knew it was something like that too. Yeah, it had to
But
really young.
in between, outside of that, the longest I went was probably.
Yeah, keep it real. Yeah, that 2-year thing was false.
Yeah, dude.
No,
no,
it's not false. That was legit, but it's like.
But since then,
young,
but
yeah.
since she's
let me
grown
think,
now.
Let me think.
Since she's grown.
Being grown, the longest I went was probably.
2 months.
Dang.
Less, bro. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Maybe
What do you
2
think we
months. I would
offer?
say
Did
maybe
you,
2 months. If I'm being completely
Did you
honest.
travel anywhere abroad or anywhere?
No, I don't. I don't fuck when I'm on vacation.
Oh.
Man, that is the biggest
That's
cap
what
I
I'd
ever
be-
heard
you
in
don't
my
be
life.
scared to do that.
That is
No
the
girl
biggest
shit.
cap. That's what
I
they all
haven't.
say.
Look, I haven't yet.
oh, so it's on a
Okay,
bucket
that-
list.
that's
Is what
better.
I
you're
wouldn't say
saying.
it's on a bucket list, but I wouldn't say that I
No.
wouldn't do it.
The right guy,
The
right
phone party in
situation.
Cancun is
Yeah.
coming, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our next move. I'm no longer dating in Dallas, so
She
Oh,
said, "I'm done
guys,
with the local men."
worldwide, right here. Check it
She's
out.
trying to get flued
She
out.
just said that she's
Flued
not
out.
dating Dallas guys anymore.
No,
So
I'm not.
only y'all.
Hey, we got another
Thank God
chat
all the
up here, too.
Californians are coming here
You got
now.
another question? She
Man, the traffic is horrible.
He says she ain't counting the guys that wore condoms or click it
Or something.
condoms or
That's
something.
what it is.
She
Is
ain't
that,
counting.
true? Is that true though? Because I mean,
Hey,
there
yeah.
are-
Do women really do that? Do women not count guys that?
No, even
Honestly,
that they
I
use
was
condoms with?
just thinking that the other day because I was like, if he wears a condom,
She
does
questioning
it-
her own body
does it-
count right now. Look at her.
Do we
She's
also
thinking hard
add
on that
oral
number.
sex?
Oh no, I'm not
No.
giving shit. Okay, I'm not giving without receiving.
man.
No wonder
Okay.
why you single.
First of all, I'm single by choice. I have options.
My point
Yeah.
exactly.
They're
DMs
always
filled.
single by choice, man,
Always,
because they
always.
can't
Yeah.
make a guy that they're sleeping with actually put them into a relationship. You gotta remember that, man. Like you cannot. Who chooses a relationship, guys?
Men.
The men choose the relationship,
Yeah.
but the women choose who get the
Sex.
box.
I mean, I feel
Right.
like
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Pat on the back for that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I can
Like
see
y'all,
that, yeah.
like y'all choose who's gonna enter you, but they choose who's getting the ring,
Yeah.
who's getting actually
Yeah.
commitment, who's actually getting a relationship.
but that's not to say that there aren't guys who want that with us and we don't want it back.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
I
but that-
mean,
that's
yeah,
every
y'all are
that's every guy who
animals.
meets
Yeah.
you. That's every guy who approaches you. He wants a relationship with you, but you don't want him like that.
Yeah.
I want to ask some questions for just in case there's single people that are watching that might be interested in y'all that are single.
Before we do, get the likes up, chat.
Yeah, please get the likes up, everybody. Please, and go share this, everyone, so we can get the stream going a little bit more and get more questions coming in from the chat and stuff. But I want to know, ladies, what hobbies do you have? For just in case anybody watching that might be, like looking at y'all and think that you're cool. What kind of hobbies do you have that makes you more attractive? We'll start with you this time, Toby.
Hobbies?
Yeah. Do you do anything other than watch Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I don't even watch that. I don't watch that. I don't.
She watches
was it.
that, guys. She watches it. That
I
is
don't
it.
watch it. My mom watches it, so I will sit there and watch it with her.
Thank you, guys.
Hobbies. What do I like to do?
You like working out, friend?
I do like to work out.
All right, guys. There's lots of people. There's lots of gym guys these days. So.
Yeah,
I don't
she
want
likes
a gym
working
guy
out.
though. I honestly
Oh, you
don't
don't want
like.
a gym cell?
I don't like muscles and I don't like abs. I like beer bellies and.
She likes the dad
Beards.
bods. All right. Once again, YouTube. She wants a dad bod.
I
What
really
the
do.
hell?
I really do.
Very rare.
This is cap right
Yeah,
now.
no,
dude.
no,
This
no,
is
like,
so
no,
cap.
we're-
Sergio,
where the
I'm not
cat's
lying.
at
I
in the
feel it.
chat.
Look, they call it a get money gut.
I-
Okay,
I-
it's called a get money gut.
Have y'all heard this
When-
term?
If that's the
I've
case, I'm gonna go
never
ahead and
heard
show
it.
y'all
I've never
photos of
heard
me.
that.
It's
I
called a
just
get
learned
money gut.
Not
I've heard it.
everyone wants a guy with muscles. Like that doesn't turn everyone on.
It's more physically attractive.
For most girls, but not for me. I honestly like a guy with a belly. I really have never been with a guy with abs.
She's the
It's
anomaly.
different. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. There's always
The
anomalies.
exception
So I,
doesn't
yeah,
make the
yeah. You're
rule.
the
Like,
exception
if
to the
you
rule.
lined up the guys that I've been with, the 5 guys.
35.
No, don't play my friend.
Times by
Don't
three,
play my
guys.
friend.
Times by three. Times by three.
5 guys that I've been with.
The 5, like she said.
They all have the same build. Like
The 5 guys that
She
didn't
has
use
a
condom.
type.
Maybe that's the reason why you didn't fully respect them to do long term.
Yeah, maybe they need to have that muscle build for you to really like them.
It's not necessarily. It's not even necessarily the
About the
physicality of
muscle.
it. It's just a man that's making sure that he takes care of himself so that he can live longer.
There
Mm.
are other
in
underlying
life.
things.
You know,
Mhm.
again, like that's a huge thing about fitness because I could show y'all pictures of me 10, 12 years ago, and I promise you wouldn't be saying that.
what?
So
That you like unfitness guys.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely would still say the same thing
But
I like what I like.
But you're saying that. But you like your hobby is the gym though.
because I like to look good. Because the guy that I want to
keep
get
those
him.
options available.
Oh, she wants to be able to get the guy. No, that makes sense though. If you really
Yeah.
think about it, she's doing her work to be able to get the best guy, even if he's not a gym guy.
I got a
Yeah.
question for you then.
Mhm.
With all the last 3, 4, 5 guys that had the
3, 4, 5.
hustle belly, what'd you call it?
Get money good.
Get money gut.
The get money gut. They had money.
They did.
Yeah, there it is.
But that's not what attracted me to
it's
them.
what kept you though.
No, because their
mean,
money
they-
was not doing anything for me. They didn't.
It was-
Honestly, there was only probably 2 guys that I've been with that actually have been like, like spoiled me with things. But I mean, it's not
The-
like right off the
If they
bat.
had it, it was a possibility of you getting it.
Right. But like also, it's just like I don't want to be with someone. I'm like
You're not gonna be the broke guy.
I don't because I want to be with someone that can bring to the table what I know I can bring for myself. Like, you know what I mean?
And yeah, provider, man, they got to make
Oh,
58% more
And
than them.
when-
Did
and-
y'all know
yeah.
that women want a guy statistically that makes 58% more than them? So if you make
Yep.
100K a year, you want a guy that makes at least 150K.
What?
Yep.
I mean,
Right?
when we also say like we want a guy that takes care of us, we don't mean like pay our bills and stuff like that. That would be nice. Honestly though, if
Yeah.
a guy comes up to me and says I want to pay your bill, we've already said
Who
we're-
would say no?
We're gonna but we're
Yeah.
gonna but
I
we're
wanna
gonna
take care of
look
my
at
woman.
him
True,
like
true,
a
yeah,
trick
true.
though. I mean,
You got to do that as a man. You got to do that on the back end.
that's what I'm saying. You
get
can't
her
do
with
it
your
right up-
personality first.
Yes.
Get her like you.
And then
Then you
yeah.
can
That's
buy
a perk.
Then you can buy her a Rolex or Mercedes and
Mhm.
pay and put her in the house. But
Yeah.
I would never lead with all that.
Yeah,
Because you look
and
like a
guys
trick.
do. Yes,
You look like
Exactly.
you're
it's
leading with your
like,
wallet.
yeah, and
That's
so it's
not
like
good.
when you act like that, like you're gonna, like how guys say, like, oh, she's a hoe, so she's gonna get
If
treated
you like
like
a hoe,
well, you're a trick,
You're
and you're
treated
gonna
like
get
You
treated
do
like a
like
trick.
one.
So
That's good to learn, though. No, guys need to hear this type of stuff. No, that's right. No. So, what about your hobby though? Like, do you like what's your biggest hobby? Is it gym also? Is it Real Housewives of Atlanta?
No, I do watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, but that's not my only hobby. Like,
Kardashians.
honestly,
Stop.
me, my hobbies, I like to eat for one. I like to go hiking, so we're gonna balance that out a little bit. And at the same time,
so
you
you're
know,
a foodie.
I do love food.
I'm a huge foodie.
I
I'm a
love
huge
food.
is there a connection here?
I
Right
know,
here.
right? This is crazy. I've been trying to hook people up on the show so hard, and it's failing every time. So
Y'all are
It'd be
funny.
Y'all
really-
are both traditional.
I know, and you know what?
What's going on?
I really need an episode that I can do in like a week or two, where I can be like, "Hey guys, I actually had two people go on a
I
date."
mean, I did
that were
set
from
you
my show.
up, so you
Yeah,
know.
I'm just saying, man.
But-
I'm just saying. Okay,
but-
wait. Yeah, go ahead.
I also like to paint. I'm a nighttime type of girl, so I just like to be out at night, just doing shit. Like I like outdoors things, so like I'm a smoker. Like I'm not gonna lie, I like to get high, so I like to be outside, smoke. I just like vibes, so
Chilling. You big chilling. Big
yeah,
Okay. Well, no. My next question is, what does everybody like about themselves? Or wait, no, I didn't even ask the guys y'all's hobbies, huh? Guys, let's hear y'all's hobbies. Let's start with you this time, man. What do you think is like your biggest hobby?
I like working because I gotta make money. That's essential. After that is exercising. I like to eat. I'm a big foodie. I eat everywhere. Um, I like to read. I know it sounds like a nerdy, but I like to read. I Google. I'll lay in bed and Google for hours. People think I'm sleeping. I'm just like Googling. And then I like to just hang out. I'm big on hanging out. She smokes that. I smoke cigars. I like to hang out.
Chill.
Man.
Yeah.
I chill a lot.
I'm just like you in the
I'm
reading.
always chilling.
I'm just like you in the reading thing, bro. I can never stop. My brain literally moves 1,000 miles per hour all day long, and I can't stop.
I
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah,
Bloop, bloop.
dude.
I got like 20 pages open on my iPhone.
That's how I am
Yeah,
too,
I'm
bro.
weird.
I'm just like you in that aspect. What's your biggest hobby, you think, bro?
It's really just exemplifying the areas of money muscles game. That's really what I spend the most of my time in.
You stay on self improvement, like
Yeah,
the time.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
I'm with
just
that.
what it is. Again, like I don't see, I don't. If I do watch certain movies or shows or something like that for a pastime, it's normally not anything that's really been released in 2022 or anything recent. It's normally something that's been released in the 90s.
Man, I'm just like you in this
But
aspect too,
literally,
bro.
so
We're the
it's
same
just-
right here. This is crazy.
I like going out. I enjoy company. I enjoy taking
course.
my girl out, making her look fucking sexy, so that people see what's good, and that's it. And it's just what it is.
Well, for this next one, I want to know, what do y'all like about yourself? And I'm sorry, chap, I have to pee because I suck at my job.
She does
So-
too.
Me too.
I guess we're both running to the bathroom when we do. So we're gonna start on this side for this one, so it can go around while me and Kaylin are going to the
Yeah, I
restroom.
actually got a
Uh,
question first.
yeah, what's up,
while
bro?
You go to the restroom, and
Yeah,
this is
go
actually
ahead
for
and take
Toby.
over, man.
Me?
So, yes. So we actually got somebody in the
scared.
chat here. Crunk One Bear says, "Guys, I'm coming up," with exclamation points. I think it's in reference to you liking guys with the money gut, as your friend likes to call it.
Getting money good.
So,
Uh-huh. With-
he says, "Guys, I'm coming up." Crunk One Bear. If you like guys with the gut,
Oh yeah, I do.
yeah, he'll slide
What's
in
your
your
full
DMs.
ethnicity?
Hispanic.
Really?
Really?
Mhm.
Are you white Mexican or just Mexican? Salvadorian?
No, honestly, well, my real dad's from Mexico.
Mexico?
What part?
Mexico City.
Mexico.
That's
I
where
didn't
my
grow-
dad's from.
Really? I didn't grow up with him, so I don't know. My stepdad, who I consider my real dad, he's white, mixed with like a little bit of
Okay.
Hispanic.
What's your mom?
She's Hispanic, but she's from here. She doesn't speak Spanish, and neither do I.
Oh, so your
Wow,
dad's
I
Mexican
thought
and
it
your
should
mom's
be
Mexican.
a little bit
Mhm.
like.
Oh, you all, I thought you were like white.
Me?
Yeah.
So you're Mexican and white, or you all Mexican too?
What's funny is that I never get full Mexican. I probably get so many different things, but as of now, that's really what I know. My dad's from Michoacan,
Okay.
Mexico City.
Okay,
So
nice.
my mom, her parents are from Mexico as well. So, but she was born in Chicago.
Oh, so you speak, but you speak Spanish?
A little bit. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't speak a lick of it.
I know a little bit. Crunk Bear though, he said he got that get money gut. He's coming for you. Crunk Bear's coming for you.
I appreciate Crunk Bear, but I'm trying to get my old man back.
Oh, so your ex? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh, you're trying to get him back.
something like that.
How'd you lose that one?
I was being dumb.
Story time.
Exercising
Let's tune in,
options.
guys.
I just felt like I needed more. I deserved more. And not saying like, I don't know. I did mess up. I will say I thought it would be I really can't even say where I went wrong. I felt like I deserved more, but honestly, like I wasn't giving him the respect that he needed. So it's like now how I'm looking at it, I'm like, why would he want to give me more when, I wasn't doing like, what I should have been doing if I was being serious or trying to take him serious. So I stopped talking to him and immediately started talking to someone else, which turned out to be
Monkey branching.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey branch.
By definition.
So you
Wait.
thought the grass was greener
Wait,
on the other
did you
side,
go pee
basically.
already?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was bad. Did I'm not gonna sit here and say I cut him off to talk to this other dude. It just helped that this other guy was there and doing the things that I wanted. But I should have gone
How
to
soon was that guy in the DMs? How soon were you?
Immediately.
it
Was that just like a quick
Same
little
day,
thing that
next
took
day.
place, or was it kind of premeditated and pre-planned?
No, honestly, it happened like I met him and then he immediately right off the back. So I was like, you know what? This just showed me like I don't need to be putting up with stuff where I'm not getting what I deserve. So yeah, but now I'm regretting it.
So you want
this
sugar
is-
dad back?
He wasn't whatever he is. Yeah, I
you
want
want daddy back. Okay.
I do want him.
So I have a question regarding
Crunk Bear,
that,
we still
Toby.
got you, Crunk Bear. We still got you.
Yeah, I got a question regarding that, Toby. So this is something that usually in the manosphere talks about like women loving opportunistically versus idealistically. So this is actually one of those examples of that. Would you say that that is correct? You took the opportunity thinking like, oh, this plan B is a better option, but he ended up basically not working out.
You know what? I really don't even know what I was thinking talking to the other dude because I should have known from the get. It was. I don't know.
The only thing I want to know is if the second guy still had a dad bod.
He didn't. No, but he didn't have abs. None of the guys that I've been
But
with,
he was a little bit more in shape.
he was like skinnier. Yeah.
Did he have a little bit of definition?
No.
No.
Did he have money?
No.
He just had that
They-
good D, huh?
Did he have good D?
That good D, huh?
Sometimes not even that.
Sometimes
man.
them skinny boys be packing.
Hey.
Hey, look. Okay, I'm learning that. I am learning that.
Mhm.
So you don't mess with broke men, do you?
My longest relationship of 8 years. I hope
He was broke.
he's not. I know he's not watching, but if his cousins are, he wasn't broke.
He was
But
average.
he just had no. As much as he said he had ambition, he was doing nothing. And like
8 years.
I've been with.
Wow.
I was with him when I got with him when I was 15, and me and him fully separated from each other when I was 25.
That's what. Okay, that explains.
He was
That
super
explains a
comfortable,
lot.
huh?
That
What?
explains a lot.
About what?
It just explains a lot. And then since you said that, I was like, oh, okay.
That's why she's so hurt. She's a little bit misandrous, huh?
That in the men she deals with now, she's not ever going to make that mistake again.
Yes.
She'll never make it again.
And this is the same thing that I just.
No, you would think.
Will you ever do another man with no ambition?
Oh no. I'm gonna say I will never make the same mistake as dealing with a man with no money.
There you go.
But as far as if you look at my guys and line them up, man,
It's not about. It's
I'm
not about
ashamed.
it's not about the look. It's not about the look. I'm just
no,
saying
I'm
the
no,
mentality. That
Their
mentality.
mentality is
Yeah, you will never do that again.
no. Their mentality, the guys I deal with, I'm like, what?
But
I'm
they
like,
have.
what are you doing?
Their redeeming
How did they
factor.
get
They
in
have
the door?
money. They have money.
They had to get in the doors
Money.
with money. Was it just money?
It wasn't like
The
they were,
swag.
The
They just
dad
had
bod.
it, huh?
The dad bod.
I can't even.
They had game.
You know what?
They
It
were
was.
able
I
to-
was
they had game.
attracted to them. I honestly, if I'm being real, some of them I looked at and I'm like, you know what? I like him. Like, and I can see myself like, taking it to that level.
He just had it.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
me he
game.
did. But
I've heard
Again,
women say that, and I
he
didn't know what it
passed the
meant.
shit
But
test.
some women just say he just had it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it? And it's hard for women to explain it. I heard.
I think it's that they're
Yeah.
not acting like all the simps because when
Yes.
you're a pretty
Yeah,
girl,
we were
when-
just
That's so
talking
funny
about
yeah,
that.
no, if guys, that's all you
We
really have to do. And I
literally-
teach this to guys all the time, like
Don't-
how I have
Don't
my
tell them that
girlfriend.
because then they're all gonna know.
Because then they're not gonna be simps no more,
It's not that
huh?
they're simps. It's
What's
just
up?
like so the dude that I'm like crazy about, or not crazy about, but I like, it's because he's not giving me the attention that all these other dudes are giving me.
Yes.
And I'm because we'll
It
sit
works
here.
every
We
time.
literally
Works
just had
every
this
time,
We'll
guys.
conversation
sit
like
here and be like,
before we came here. We literally just had this
Yes.
conversation
And
like
this is precisely
in her
why.
bathroom.
mhm. Yeah,
It's
it's because I told her, I said, you will not like this dude if he were acting like all the other dudes. If he were giving you the same attention, calling you constantly, texting you constantly, you would not, like, you would be so cool off of him. But because he is like making you think, like, question yourself and like, what the hell? That's why, like, we want
And this
him.
is why
it's a
women
push and pull
normally
method.
this is why women normally cheat emotionally before physical interaction.
Yeah.
It's
So-
crazy you say that because the girls in my lifetime that have wanted me the most are the ones I ignored the most.
Mhm. No, it's
Yes.
And
so,
looking back
it's
at
crazy.
34 years, it's
Yeah.
like the ones that really wanted to be
But
like, right,
let's just
I ignored them.
let's ignore that. Can we delete that? Because I don't need
Yeah,
everyone knowing that that's what it is.
Yeah, just
wanna
in
give
case.
I want to give the tip to the guys really quick though, guys. If you get a girl's number, the first thing you do is you don't call them for at least a day or two. If you sit there and you immediately text them, if you immediately hit them up or something like that, you look like all these other fucking dorks that do that shit. Don't need to leave them alone. And then when you do hit them up,
Facts.
you ain't texting them. You better fucking just call them and just do like or say, hey, can I FaceTime you real quick? And that's it. And then and that's the only thing you do. Yeah, my girlfriend's looking at me right now because she knows
And
this
keep
game
it
works
very
every
short.
time.
Keep it
Yeah,
very short.
keep it
You
very
never
short,
have long
guys, because you don't want to. When you're trying to talk to these girls, you need to think the opposite of what the simp is doing. What's the simp always doing?
There's
Texting too
There's
much,
99 men
trying
texting
too
her.
hard.
There's 99 men texting her, and you're number 100.
Yeah, dude. Y'all gotta avoid that shit, guys.
I don't know. I can't even just say that because I don't know. It's just a complicated thing. Either you got
it's
it or
very
you
complicated.
fucking don't.
Yeah, you got the sauce or you don't.
Yeah, either you got it or you
It
don't.
factor.
And
You
money is
know?
not going to make you have it.
Yeah.
It helps though.
No,
it
the
helps.
Money does
It
not
helps
help
a
your
little
It
dating
bit,
does
but-
help because, yeah, but
Well, women marry the lifestyle before they marry the man.
Facts.
Not me.
yeah,
Not
Depends.
me.
You have more of a traditional base, but you're
Yeah.
like fuck the bums. She's like fuck the bums.
right. But I'm also not going to go with someone if he looks like Jabba the Hutt and he's like $1 million man.
She
like,
likes guys
hell
without
no.
she likes the dad bod guys with that are skinny. She doesn't like the bigger dad bods.
Like,
Just so everybody
I can
understands
find
that.
what I like and him have money. I'm not going to go with anyone just because they have money.
I gotta ask, did y'all ever go around and say what do you like about yourself? Because I thought I said that before I got off the
Oh,
phone.
no, we didn't.
Oh well, I want to know that now. So, or wait, is there something up? Let me see. What did
Yeah,
Money
we
Mike
got,
say?
Money Mike out of Nashville, Tennessee. Question for the ladies: would you delete your IG for the right guy? That's a
I
great
deleted
question.
it for the wrong guy
Oh,
for a whole year.
Okay.
You get two
Yeah.
you get 2 thumbs up though.
Yeah, for real,
Yeah, that's-
loyal right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I would say I would just because I'm like, of course I have social media because I would like stay in a loop, but at the same time, if my guy and I really like him, he's giving me what I want. If you want me to delete it, I don't care.
But
I'll
why-
delete
but
it.
why-
Yeah.
Like, why though?
It's no
Why
thing.
would the right guy make you delete it?
Because it's an avenue for thousands of men to
But
hit
he can have my password.
but it's your phone. You have an Instagram.
Mhm.
1,000 dudes a day can DM you. It's almost like them having instant access to you because you're gonna look at your Instagram and oh man, I got 590 messages. Let me start reading them. But if you delete it,
Mm.
that door is shut. You're shutting the door that for access to other men. He might enjoy you doing that. Now you might not like if it's the wrong guy, you won't do it. You just won't do it. But if it's the right guy, you might.
So I got a question for you, Toby, or both of you actually. Have you ever had a guy with a blue check mark sliding your DMs?
Of course they have.
And it came with problems.
So you read
But
it,
you experienced
but you
it.
read it.
But
Yeah,
anyone can have blue check marks these days. People with like 10,000 followers. can have blue
Yeah, and
check marks.
people buy followers too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The rate-
So you know when you see people Instagram and it's like they have all these followers and then their likes don't freaking match.
the
It's
ratio
like,
is
it's like yeah.
Super off. So
Yeah.
so the cloud don't mean shit.
Is it hard
sometimes.
to get verified?
no. I
You
I
got to
don't
have
think
an
so.
article written, which I just learned this recently because I've been learning all about the internet and how to
Okay,
get
tell
famous.
us.
You can literally pay not even that much, only like $2,000-$3,000 to get written. You can literally write the article yourself and then have it put into a certain publication. If you do that to 3 small publications, you can go get put in the New York Times or whatever big publication that you want, Forbes, and it's just an online article that you're paying for. And you literally just give Forbes the money, and they're like, "All right, there's already 3 small ones about you. All right, tell us what you want us to say about you." and then you can literally send them exactly what to print on their website, and it's just a
It's a
fake.
facade.
Yeah, but they're doing it all the time now because if you want the check mark, you have to be a rapper, you have to be something. So what a lot of guys do to get a check mark real quick is they'll get an article written about one, like they'll go make one song in studio real quick, some bullshit song, and then they'll go get an article written about them. And as long as there's at least one article, Instagram will verify them. So that's how a lot of guys get verified sometimes, even though they're not shit or they're not even a rapper sometimes. There's a lot of people who aren't even
Yeah.
rappers and they do this shit.
Man, the last person I had slide in my DMs that was verified, it came with a whole fake profile DMing me, and I'm like, look, I don't even know this guy like that. Like, just
One question: was it music industry?
no, it's
Okay.
athlete.
That was my next one, but I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah, no, it's athlete, and it just came with all this extra stuff. And I'm just like, I don't even talk to this guy.
Would you date an athlete?
No.
You already know the baggage it comes with.
Yeah, like okay, so like my high school that I went to was pretty big with football. So
Which high
even
school, if I can ask?
DeSoto.
Oh yeah, no, we
okay.
competed against y'all. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we were pretty big with football. And it's like I just kind of got a little bit of taste of what it's like. Like even though that wasn't full league, you know, I just got a little bit of taste of what that would be like, and it just wasn't something that I was interested in, like at all.
Those guys run game.
They
can do
run
it.
game. There, it's just not me. It's not for me.
They
I'm
have all the
sorry.
leverage.
She's track on, remember?
She knows they
She's
have
pretty
all the leverage.
traditional, man.
Yeah, no, it's not for me.
You marry an NFL player, yeah.
You're not gonna be truly happy.
You're
I
number
feel
5
like.
or 6 on this list of things.
Exactly.
And you got to just take that. Or
And then it's like I feel like with athletes, like their whole life is so dedicated to that sport that
Yes.
like you are literally gonna be on the back burner, regardless
all
of
the
how
time.
much that guy loves you. His team and his career is always gonna come first.
He has endeavors that come
Yeah,
before
it's
you.
always gonna come first. So I'm not one of the women. No, I'm sorry. I can't.
I think every man should, as they say.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
your
say.
mission, your purpose, yourself, your homies, your family, then your girl. I don't think your girl should be first. I agree with that statement. Your girl should never be first. You should never put your all in your girl.
Yeah.
Keep her one more. I always put her second, third, fourth down the list. But guys like that, yeah.
But here's the thing. I feel like I wouldn't even say like put her last on the list because that could come out
Second or
bad.
third, like you were saying, she needs to be
Who's
second or
third
third
worst?
because
Yeah.
you ever put her above your career or what you're doing,
Exactly.
she will disrespect.
And it's kind of
you.
just like
Yes.
how I was talking to one of my brothers about. It's kind of like in relationships, it's important to have your own individuality.
Yes.
Like because if not, you'll lose yourself,
Yes.
and then that relationship don't work out the way you thought it would, and now you're stuck trying to put the pieces back together of who you are and what your purpose is and what you want. So, in a sense, I feel you with saying that like who you date should not be your first priority, but at least make them feel like they are. So even if they aren't, make sure you're making them feel like they
Make
are.
you feel like
Make them feel like they are. Yeah, because if not, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how many guys put their career and their friends and and everything else before their woman, and then they love sad as hell when a woman go and step out with another man who makes her feel more wanted and more prioritized. You know, then you're sad because you're like, oh, but it's everything like they say in life is about a balance.
I believe that it's really about being present in every moment. More and more men, just because I think that a lot of times we think so far ahead. A lot of men, deal with ADHD or dyslexia or whatever it is. It's about being present in that very moment. The quality of the time is better than the quantity of the time.
Agreed.
Whether it's with your woman, whether it's with your children. And I believe every man should also be his own mental point of origin. He should put himself first, because if he doesn't, he can allow lots of weaknesses.
You lose yourself.
He can allow lots of things. Like I said, men lead, women follow. It has been like this since the dawn of mankind. In fact, I always ask everyone, like, what was I'm not super religious or anything like that, but for the people that do follow religious texts and stuff like that, I always ask, what was the first sin in the Bible?
Eating the apple off the tree.
I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yes, no, you're
Yeah.
They say that, but in the text it says, because you hearkened unto the voice of your wife and your woman, that was first, and then you ate the apple. So you listened to the woman because of her to speak.
But see, so here's the thing with that, and it's like, I'm very spiritual. I wouldn't say necessarily like super religious, just because I feel like religion has got very much astray from the true, purpose of it. But I don't know. I just feel like to some extent, like everybody has their role, you know what I'm saying? So it's like in a team, or like you look at an engine, everybody kind of has what they're
But
there
what do
for.
women prioritize?
But no. Let me finish real quick.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like it's necessarily about like you might be stronger in this area and she might be stronger in this area. So just because in the Bible, in that sense, it said that like, okay, you listen to your woman, this will happen to you. Don't mean that any other instance you shouldn't listen to your woman, because what you might be good at, and that's kind of the reason what brings what brings people together. It's like your weaknesses are my strong points and vice versa. So I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel like in certain instances there are probably times where you do need to listen to your wife.
And there could be,
And vice
there
versa.
could be. But I will say that women prioritize emotion over
yeah,
logic.
over
Not every
over-
woman though.
Most women prioritize.
We're not talking about the anomalies.
Yeah.
We're talking about the exceptions.
Talking about
It's-
51%.
There are
the
many.
most.
There are
Yeah.
many. There are
It's
many
way
women
more
out
than that.
there.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to, again, the man being his own mental point of origin. I do believe that every man should put himself in a position where he is worshipped by his woman as a god.
You gotta do a lot for
because
that.
Kanye.
again, you do have to
A god.
you do have to exemplify yourself in the areas necessary. I'm not saying that every man deserves that type of treatment
But if he puts in the
or that
work,
type of
that can
admiration.
happen.
Yeah, I agree,
Okay, yeah,
100%.
for
But that's
sure.
like what you said. When he put in the work, a lot of guys look for that treatment and they're not putting in the
No,
work.
the normal dude's not
I
gonna get
agree
that.
with
They're
that.
not. They're not
There's
putting
a lot
in the
of lames
work.
doing it.
Yeah,
but-
if you're a normal guy,
Yeah.
a woman's not gonna look up to you like
If I
every normal
can't, if
guy.
I can't count on you for certain things, I can't look at you for emotional support. You can't be emotionally attached where I need you to be. You're not gonna get treated like a god, because
No.
guess what? God is there for you. Whoever you worship as God, they're there for you in any aspect that you need them to be. So it's kind of like, don't expect me to treat you like a god if you can't line up.
If you're coming up short,
Yeah, if you can't line up, and that's financially, emotionally,
Everything.
physically,
For-
whatever the fuck it
for a
is.
woman to treat you like that, you got to be killing it on all cylinders, or
Yeah.
she's not gonna do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But you have to
completely
put in the
agree with
work. You have to put in the work.
that. Here, I got a question based off of what you were kind of talking about, because this is one of my favorite debates. Actually, is the chicken versus the egg. Which one? Who caused it first? Who put everything out of sync? Was it women that started sleeping around, that started this vicious cycle where everything is happening? Did they start giving out their precious gift to too many men, and that's what caused the cycle? Or was it men that were being ultra hoes, sleeping around, causing this? I call it a hedonistic cycle. I call it a hedonistic cycle that's been going on for past 50-60 years. And who started it? Like, who's at fault in all this? Is it the women's fault because they're acting like hoes, or is it the guys' fault because they're not leading correctly? Whose fault is it, in your opinion? We'll start right here with you.
I believe that men allow women to do it. I believe women don't do anything in this world that we don't let them do. And I think that the generation of American society is because men allow women to do that. If you look at a lot of other countries on the planet, they don't function like we function in America. And it's because the men over there don't let them do that. And every other country, America, say, well, they're what's the word when they hold down women? I can't think of the term.
Provide
They're like holding women. They're not letting them be crazy and free. The Middle East doesn't do it, and they don't do it in Asia. They don't do Eastern Europe. But here in America, women are buck wild here. Why? They're buck wild because us as men, we let them do that. And you got a bunch of simps and a bunch of crazy dudes who are rooting them on.
Yeah, rooting it on. I can understand that. Here, what do you think about that, man? Whose fault is it? Is it the guys or the women's fault?
I do believe that weak men allow these circumstances to take place. We are seeing now that even polygamy and cuckoldry is becoming more and more prominent in today's age. And that's a sign of literally no self-respect as a man whatsoever. It's not your responsibility to take care of another man's responsibility that took place, whether it was now, whether it was in the past. It really just comes down to who is truly exemplifying the areas necessary. And it's so necessary. Again, lots of people like to focus on just one of the three areas. They want to go ahead and focus on just money in one season, maybe some muscles and some fitness in another season, and then game in another season. But if they realize that all three compensate each other and that you would be respected more for actually doing everything simultaneously, man, the what you would get in return You'd be very surprised.
Mhm.
And I do believe it is weak men that have allowed this. We're seeing right now, and I don't want to get too political. You know, a lot of people think that the president currently is the one that's leading the ship, but we know that there are lots more women in politics than ever before, and he's just the face for what we're experiencing right now and what we will experience the next 2 years that he's in office.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree. Ladies, so who do y'all think is causing all of this? You know, like who's causing the cycle of abuse that I like to call it? Is it the men or the women? We'll start with you this time, Kaylin.
I don't even want to just generalize it to a certain gender.
Mhm.
I feel like I said, everything is like it just takes more than one, you know? So I just feel like it's like you said, just truly what you said, a vicious cycle. Like I can't even say who started it. Like who knows who started it? I just feel
It's
like
just so bad at this point. We're
yeah.
all at fault. You
Yeah,
could
so
say
like
we're
we're all
both
at fault because at the end of the day, there's a cause and effect, and then at the end of the day, it's like how you're gonna respond to certain things. So it's all about how people respond, how like it's just a lot of different things, and we have to also look at the fact of like how people were brought up in their environment, and all those type of things go into play into how people think about things and how they make decisions. So it's kind of hard to just pinpoint it to a specific gender just because there's a lot of factors that play into
See,
why people
yeah.
act and move the way they do.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is that life is 90% what happens, or 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you react to it.
Yeah,
You
hundred
know,
percent.
and a lot of
Yeah,
people are reacting wrong. They're
Yeah.
acting out of
Mhm.
vengeance.
Yeah.
They're acting out of all
exactly.
types of things. Yeah, no, I agree. What do you think? Do you think that it's the men or the women's fault? Who's
I
really
mean,
causing this?
I think both. I mean, just like how y'all say, weak men are like allowing this. It goes back to y'all talking about high value men and like they should be able to, blah blah blah. But it's like there are women out there that will allow that. So it's like the same. Like, women will allow a man to go do this because he is taking care of,
I
such and
think it's
such.
smart for women to do that though.
To let him sleep around?
I mean, if he's a millionaire,
Yeah, it depends how high value
It
the
depends
guy
on
is. Really, I
when we
mean,
say high value, it depends
But
on
I
who
mean,
he
I feel
is.
like if you're at the status to where you're dating high value men at that such, it's not something rare to come across. So it's not something.
No, that's not saying you can replace him. That's not
But
saying you can
here's the
replace him.
thing, not saying that you can't replace them, but if you're in that certain type of status, it's not gonna be an issue for you to find another one. Because
Right.
That's not
because
true.
like here's the thing,
That's not true.
not saying that it's not true, but it's like for instance for Toby, she dealt with that one guy who wasn't as at the other stature of a lot of guys she's dealt with like after him, you know. So I feel like once she kind of developed a certain mindset and got to messing with this certain stature of guy, it's no longer like hard for her to access those type of people.
Mhm.
I will agree with you.
You
I was
know?
gonna name a celebrity, but I'm not. If you're messing with dudes who make $250 $500,000 and you keep consecutively messing with guys who are in that ballpark, then yes, you can replace them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
while you're in your prime, you can do that. Now, if you're messing with Tiger Woods, you're never gonna replace him. But if you're messing with guys who are in multiple six figures, I mean, yeah. So I see what you're saying. Yes,
But
Yeah.
you can
So
replace
but
those
then it
guys.
yeah,
goes
so that doesn't mean
it just goes
anything.
then like
But how long can you do that? And how long do you want to do that?
I mean, I feel like even if like
Musical chairs. You
at,
don't
at that
want
at that point, like if you are messing with guys to that stature, it should be to a point to where you have a certain stature for yourself.
mhm.
But women,
You know, like I feel like no, like especially guys of that stature, I feel like okay, a very few of them will take in a woman who is very lower than them and kind of
dudes don't
turn them
care.
up a little bit.
Men don't
Yeah,
care.
some guys don't care,
She could be
but then
prima
at the
donna.
same time, I feel like a lot of those women that are messing with that stature of guy, they have access to multiple others, so it's not a thing,
But
you know.
also if I'm dealing with a millionaire, someone that's like with crazy money like that, just believe every 10 little K he's giving me, I'm putting
I'm
that
keeping
to the,
it.
to the side. And
Yes.
when I'm ready to leave you, I'm gonna be good on my own.
But I
Like
need y'all to understand also that I believe that y'all, as attractive young ladies, because you've probably dealt with a certain apex type of man in your life, you don't realize how many men that don't even reach that type of
yeah.
status, don't even reach
Yeah.
that type
Oh
of
no, I
options.
know.
Yeah.
Many.
We're
I'm
very
very-
aware.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I
telling,
know.
but what I'm saying is that women have no ability because of how abundant their mindset is. They have a way more abundant mindset than men. because their options are readily available. They are born with their inherent value. Men must build their value over time. It takes time. You know, women actually reach their middle point of development around 11, 12. They reach their full development around 21, 22. For men, it's middle point 15, full development 30 plus, 35, 40 plus. And this is the reason why we see a lot of men who may exercise those options even when they've been married for a couple years, because the average age of marriage is about 29, funny enough, as men are on their ascent and women are on their descent in the sexual marketplace specifically. They're not as hot as they were in their early 20s, and they know that that's not going to be a thing going into their 40s as well. So again, it just comes down to the men that you're dealing with. Most women in your profession specifically, whenever y'all are dealing with y'all are dealing with top 10, 5% type men. And most men are completely invisible to you. You may come across a guy ever so often that catches your attention. But in order to go ahead and keep you around, he needs to go ahead and be able to go ahead and facilitate certain experiences for you.
No, I wouldn't even say that. Like, that's not true. I just feel like we were saying, it's all about the genuineness, the vibe, and the confidence. Like because I also know at the same time, like, what point a guy is in right now doesn't necessarily mean that's where he's going to be in 5 years.
He's probably gonna be higher.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason why, like, I just can't sit here and say that, like, just because a guy has this is going to dictate anything, because I also believe in the growth of things,
I think you guys' point of origin is, if you're both in the nightlife industry, your point of origin is blown out. Like it's just like so out of whack. Like,
well, I'm not gonna sit here and say I agree with her. I mean,
if you guys are in the nightlife industry, you guys are literally what the word you use. You're dealing with apex individuals night in and night out. Most women never deal with. So your point of origin is like distorted.
My friend, love her. Like I said, I've already dealt with someone who was like that, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying, from my past experience, we already know a man is going to cheat. I'm not going to get cheated on by someone like who is still living
Joe Schmo.
Mediocrely.
Just Joe Schmo.
I'm gonna have to do another poll on the dad.
She's embraced it. She's just embraced it. She understands.
So I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to go for a man for what he can do for me, but I mean, yes, I have a certain requirement, just because, like I said, I know what I can do for myself. We both know what we can do for ourselves. I just require a certain thing.
You've tasted it. You're not going back.
No, I'm not.
I'll also play devil's advocate.
I'm happy you admit it, though.
I'll also play devil's advocate with y'all, and just, there are also lots of men, whether they're upcoming rappers, upcoming musicians, upcoming skateboarders, or anything like that. They have this edge to them where they don't really have much to lose. And because of that personality trait, they do attract women, and they do actually sleep with many women.
Mm-hmm.
And it can come to a point where the women that they have slept with, unfortunately, again, like I said, it takes a little bit longer for a man to come to his full development to facilitate experiences long term for women, especially if you want to consider marriage, if you want to consider children in the future. It does. I don't think that women do not have the capacity to appreciate the sacrifices that men go through in order to facilitate a woman's reality. And that's the biggest factor that we're seeing right now. Most men, they just want to be appreciated. They just want to be respected in that. And especially if we're out there in the marketplace bettering ourselves, we're not stopping. Again, I'm not saying every man is like this. There's many that aren't. They talk a good game. They try to go ahead and connect with this red pill stuff in some way, shape, or form. And they think that they're entitled to certain things. You're entitled to what you have worked for.
That's it.
You're entitled to what you have sacrificed for. And again, most men aren't in that place. I believe that most men that y'all have dealt with have entered that apex. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they are a part of the 80%. Maybe you gave them a chance, because, there's also a saying where women will wait for the guy at the finish line.
100%.
But I will also say this. There are some women out there that will actually bet on a racing horse. They will bet their early sexual agency in their early 20s. They say, you know what, this guy is, he's worth investing into.
But he has to be promising.
He's yes, very promising. He has to have, he basically has to have everything besides the money coming in fluently. So there is that as well. But it's far and few between right now, especially as more and more of the sexual marketplace pretty much displays their value on Instagram and stuff like that. And Instagram, again, it's the #1 dating app because why? You have access to FaceTime. You have access to DM. You have access to go ahead and like, comment, whatever it is. Just that's the reason why it is what it is.
But see, I feel like it's not stuff at the same time just because people can kind of paint a picture that's not reality
Mhm.
On
on
Instagram.
social media.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm big on the in person. I don't give a fuck what you have on your social media. I don't care if you're verified. I don't care how many followers you have, how many likes you get, what you say, what you that, because I've seen so many people, and Twitter is even bigger.
I agree
You know,
with you.
it's like people create this facade. Like I've seen so many people on Twitter who are big, talk so loud, got this big personality on Twitter, and then in person,
Of course.
you're boring.
I know so many dudes
You
who
know,
who
like
fake for social media. You see them in
Yeah.
person, like,
there has to be-
dang, bro,
so
you
social
broke."
media, like for me personally, I'm a genuine realist type of person.
congruency.
Social media means nothing.
Guys, social media doesn't work for every
I
girl.
agree.
Social
I
media
agree with you.
means nothing.
Some
I
things you
believe
can't
that it
fake,
can be
though.
the icing on the cake. I'm not telling you that men should just
Because
rely on
if you
that
ask
solely.
me, I'm attracted to the guy who on social media, you got about 15 likes, you post it every 6 months. That's what I like to see, because that let me know you're living in real life.
Hey,
You're not
yeah.
living for no fake facade or what people think of you or whatever picture you're trying to paint. You're living for real life. And that's what I look for.
Depends on the endeavor, depends on the profession that he's
Yeah. Now, if you're a
specifically
person
involved
who
in.
your career, you make your money off this, this, and this, and I get faking it, because at the end of the day, faking is what gets you your dollars. If you're not making no money off of that, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. What are you doing?
Why are you posting with
What are you
filters?
doing?
Why?
Now I don't agree with fully lying and being incongruent about you and your lifestyle, but I do. We tell men all the time that you have to picture yourself in that position, even if you're not in that position.
Fake it till you make it.
It's not necessarily fake it, because you don't want to be someone that's just lying outright. Okay, I'm not saying don't be incongruent. I'm not saying don't, like, again, I don't encourage being a coward. Okay, but just be real, be you. This is the reason why some men who have a little bit less financially, they still get some play. This is the reason why they still get some
'Cause they're
opportunities out there.
genuine.
Exactly. And
They're
but
genuine.
how long a woman will go ahead and stay, that's dependent on whether that man can go ahead and facilitate experiences. Again, women don't like being bored.
Not at all.
They don't like being bored.
Men either.
So-
Right.
I'm not saying, but
like
men
routine.
can
We
go
like
ahead and
routine.
men can go ahead and settle for less when they know that they're in certain positions. This also goes back to, a lot of people don't realize that women actually can only date up. They can't date down. And if they do, and we've seen this actually with Miss Mackenzie Bezos, the 5th richest woman on earth, who went ahead and took a good portion of Mr. Bezos' money. She went ahead and married a high school teacher, I believe 8 months later. Now they're getting
teacher?
divorced.
Mhm.
Okay,
real?
so
Yeah.
we're seeing that with the richest couple on planet Earth. So what do you believe that the average dude who doesn't get those options, who doesn't get those opportunities, is dealing with? We're seeing that, again, those may be anomalies. They may be the exception to the rule, but we're seeing it as an example to most men and women. And again, women don't date down. Men, they will go ahead and see a cute cashier at McDonald's, and they don't have a problem going ahead and
100%.
I mean, I guess I
possibly-
can agree with that
100%.
because it's like, yeah,
I
I
don't
couldn't
care
see
where a girl works at
myself.
all.
100%.
Yeah, my ex told me he wants to date someone who is ugly. So
They're easier to deal with.
that's what he literally
Easier to
said.
deal
A
with.
young girl working at McDonald's is easier. If you're 35 and you're made partner at the law firm, you're gonna be way more complicated to deal with than me being a 50-year-old millionaire dating a chick who's 18 working at McDonald's. It's just reality. Easier to deal with.
Guys, get the likes up. This is an awesome show. Come on, please get the likes up on this. Thank y'all so
Share
much,
it.
and share us around. This is awesome
Yeah,
though.
this is a great show.
Yeah, this is some good dialogue, y'all. I can't believe it,
So
honestly.
we got some chats. The chats are blowing up, by the way. Really appreciate the engagement chat.
Yeah, Alexa Acosta.
Yes, shout out to Alexa. Says, I stand by what I said. Keep your man happy sexually and face less drama. So that's good to hear back from
That don't
female
mean
I
friends.
know
nothing.
it doesn't.
That don't mean
it
nothing.
doesn't
That
at
means
all. I
nothing.
mean, I know we're wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking right there.
That
but
is wishful thinking.
no. That does not mean anything.
Sexually means nothing. You know how many guys I know that are, You know,
And
they
they
you
go
got
cheat.
freaks. They're
They-
gonna go cheat.
And with
They're not
people that
congruent, though.
look like the bottom of my shoe.
Oh wow.
They're not
Isn't
congruent.
that so disrespectful too?
cowards.
Yeah,
Like, how
but that
mad would
same
you
guy
be
you
to
don't-
go? mess
You
with
don't
the-
you don't respect though.
You what?
Those same guys that you're talking about would lick the bottom of your shoe. You won't respect.
No, I wouldn't say I would respect them. It just it's very complicated thing.
So you're telling me you respect a guy that you're gonna say that they would lick the bottom of your
No,
foot?
I said they go and cheat with girls that look like
The
the bottom
bottom
of
of her
my
foot.
shoe.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like regardless of how like what I'm doing, like I'm doing what I need to do for my man. They're gonna cheat. They're gonna
Yeah,
cheat.
if they want to, they're gonna
cheat.
do it.
And they're gonna cheat with the
Yeah.
most awful choices out there.
It's a bit more difficult for men to go ahead and do that once they have the options readily available. It doesn't come as quickly. It doesn't come as prominently.
I don't know about
I say necessarily for
statistic-wise. I
you.
just know from
No,
past experiences.
I'm not even talking subjectively. I always got to talk for the objective man. When I speak about any of this, I speak about the guy who's literally truck driving in the middle of,
and they have
Oklahoma.
Someone in my family was a truck driver, and we know about those stops. There are
Of course.
there are people there.
Of course,
So
but that there's also a big play in them paying for it. So again, are you paying for it, or is it actually something that's consensual? So that's the biggest thing too. Is I don't advocate that men pay for any of that.
Yeah.
If you want, especially sexual experiences with other women,
mhm.
because you might as well just go ahead and pay for exclusive pornography, which is most men's ideal situation, unfortunately. And like I said, even in church and stuff like that, it's funny because I got to bring this up always. Like, I don't think that people realize that you can never remove that innate desire for men to want variety.
Yes.
It is in our biology. It is in our firmware to spread our seed wide and available to all the women that are sexually available to us.
That's why I just changed my hairstyle up every so often. You know,
So-
I'm a new woman every other week. What do you want me to be?
Yes, and it's not even I think it should. If you are going to be in a long-term relationship, if you are going to go towards the marriage route and you want to have children, even though marriages literally last less than 5 to 9 years today, right now. Okay, I'm not saying that it's possible to go ahead and keep each other happy for a very, very long time. A lot of men, because we love idealistically, and women opportunistically,
Mhm.
we think that, as long as I go ahead and just do what I do, work every day and come home and expect certain things and yada yada, that's just gonna go ahead and keep us happy till whenever we decide to go ahead and pass away.
Even though it's a bad bet, man, I still want to do it. I've heard all the negative things for men getting married, and it's still something I want to do.
Same like for us. Like I feel like
Well, it's
I
positive.
don't know for
It's
you,
positive
Franny,
for
you
you
wanna
guys
get
to get
married?
married, but
Do I want to get married?
wait, a positive why?
because you get all the benefits and none of the downside.
What do you mean all the benefits? What are the benefits?
When a woman marries a man, she gets his last name, she gets him taking care of her, and when a divorce comes,
But not every marriage is that way.
Women are not going to marry a man who makes less money than them. Let's be honest.
I've seen it too many times.
No,
I've seen it so many times.
You're naming anomalies. Most women I know who got married, they always got married to a man who made the same.
So I
amount
just
or
had
more.
my aunt, right? My aunt literally just told me we were on vacation. She just told me, she's like, hey, marry for money.
Yes.
But it's
That's not a bad
because she
thing
did
either. It's not a
not,
bad
though.
thing.
It's
That's not a
because
bad
she
thing.
did not.
She made a mistake.
And I feel like, but she's not unhappy. Well, maybe she is. I don't know. She's telling me what she's telling me.
Is.
Who knows? Because she's the breadwinner in her family.
Yeah,
She doesn't necessarily, I don't know. But I just feel like that's not always the case. Like there's a lot of women who marry men who don't make more, or they solely look at it as a partnership. Because if
And-
you ask me, if I knew my guy had potential and at this moment he's not where I want him to be,
That's different.
yeah, but
If
she's still marrying underneath
but
her.
Let me ask you this: if you knew the man did not have potential, would you?
No, fuck no.
Of course.
No.
It-
No, I'm not gonna lie. Are you gonna talk to a girl who doesn't have potential?
potential to what? Do what?
Like
To
if you
be
feel
what?
like it, okay, let's say
Because I don't want her for money.
okay,
so
let's say you're the breadwinner, right? You're making all the money.
thumbs up, yeah.
You're coming home, the house is never clean. You never have a meal. You never this. Are you gonna be okay
Okay,
with that?
she's just not doing feminine duties at that point. That's,
Yeah,
why-
but,
that's
but that's
different.
what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna marry a slob. That's different.
Exactly.
Depending
It's
on
the
the
same
man,
thing
that's the
here. I'm
reason
not gonna
why.
marry a guy that doesn't have potential. So just like you wouldn't marry a woman who didn't have the potential to be a wife, not gonna marry a guy. But if you saw that, like, okay,
If she didn't
she
have
does
those
have
traits,
potential, but right now she's just super focused on this. She's super focused on that.
if she wasn't a wife, I wouldn't marry her.
Just like I'm saying, if a guy wasn't
So,
a husband,
so
if he didn't have the potential,
you're
I
talking
wouldn't
about the
marry him.
potential. I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about if she wasn't it when I got her. If you get married and because you're already a husband or wife when you get married, you don't become it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if I met a woman, I'm 34, you're 26.
Yeah.
If I met a woman, she already needs to be a wife, or she's not getting it. If I think you have the potential to be a wife, I'm not gonna marry you. You need to already be a wife. Just like she needs to look at me like he's already a husband.
Yeah.
Like So,
I mean, I could see that,
but no, if
but
she wasn't cooking, cleaning, come home and the baby's diapers all
'cause
dirty, he
what
crawling
was
around
that?
stinky, that's not happening.
What
Women-
what was that
I
Tyler
mean, men-
Perry movie? Like it was then I can't think of the movie, but it was pretty much like her husband.
Acrimony.
Acrimony,
I love that
yes.
movie. I love
That
I've never
entire
heard of
like
this.
okay, so in
Oh,
that movie, pretty
man.
much he was like developing
A
like what was it?
battery.
A
It was a
battery,
battery.
right? And all this time, like he invested so much
15
time
years.
and money into developing this battery that he knew was going to change their lives. She held him
Changed
down
the
the entire
world.
time.
Was it 15, 20 years?
Yeah.
It was a long. He tried to develop this battery for a long time.
But they were already married prior to all of this, you know,
She sold the house, gave up her life savings. She gave everything to try to push this man
for
to
this
develop this
battery.
battery. She divorced him. A couple years later, he developed the battery, got married to a model.
But
She
here's
wanted
the
to- she-
reason why, though. Here's the reason why with the battery thing. So, and this is about the potential thing. Like, for instance, if my guy was constantly every day working towards something, even though I'm making the most money at that moment, you're constantly every day working towards something, you're this, you're that. I can stick by your side. You know, I can wait for you. But in that movie, what fucked it up was because he had cheated before.
Yeah.
He had cheated before. And whenever she decided to divorce him, she found the wallet of the woman who he had cheated with in his van again later. This was years later. And she left him. She left him.
I also think in that movie though that was extreme because she waited 15 to 20 years to see his potential. Nowadays in the world we live in, a woman will never wait that long.
But
with a
that's not
man.
the case. You can't say that because
I
if
think that's
somebody
I think that's dumb.
no,
though.
because like
Would
if you
wait
ask
15
me,
years?
you
Would you wait 15
and y'all
years?
can think I'm lying or
Would
whatever.
you wait 15 years?
If I truly love that man,
Oh, you're tripping.
yes.
She's tripping. She's
I'm not tripping
It's
because at the end of
different
the day,
today.
just
Women
how
don't wait
just
nowadays.
no, but it's because like just like you say, like if you're making a certain amount of money, you don't care what job your woman has.
Yeah.
Vice versa. If I'm making a certain amount of money, which I'm not no lazy ass girl,
But you're not gonna take care of the man though.
But
You're not
he's
gonna be the-
working too. It's not like he just sitting on his ass. Like you're working towards something. So I wouldn't have no issue doing that because you're working towards something. Maybe one thing if I'm going to work every day and you're sitting on the fucking couch and doing nothing.
I'm gonna call you out. At 26 right now, you're not doing it. You wouldn't wait.
You
on
don't
that.
know me though, so I don't.
Do
You
you
can
have a
call me
boyfriend
out.
you're waiting on for 15 years? You're not gonna do that. I don't believe you do that.
If I saw he was working towards something, and I genuinely loved him for him.
You'd give him 12 months.
No,
That'd be
that's
it.
not me. Like if he was doing everything else that he needed to make me happy, and I was still waiting, like he was doing what he needs to do, I am fine with that because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to take care of myself regardless. So if you're not around, I'm gonna have to take care of myself with you here or without you here.
It's a good movie, but I believe it's quite extreme. I don't believe a modern day woman is not gonna wait that.
That's
that
not
movie. That movie
everyone.
was pretty extreme. She waited a long time.
But it can happen.
There was I mean, if we're gonna be talking about pop culture and stuff like that, I mean, there's been plenty of movies that have taken place. I mean, there was another movie that starred like the soap opera actor William Levy, and it was between a black couple, and her only reason for stepping out was because she had a situation back in her children days where she was possibly raped. I don't want to say the actual word specifically, but this was a good man who didn't do anything wrong, didn't cheat, didn't do nothing. They had a beautiful family, but her supposable sexual urgency was so strong that she decided to go ahead and step out with another good-looking man, and then it went ahead and went to another guy as well in the same process. And then at the end of the movie, she was basically forgiven and taken back. So it's
I'd
stuff.
never do
It's
that.
stuff like
I'd
that.
never do
You
that.
know, it's stuff like that where we're seeing it. Like, and again, this is pop culture.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to subjective situations and whoever is writing the source material, whatever that is. But you may be an anomaly. You may be the exception.
She ain't
The
waiting
average
15 years.
the average woman today, because of all the music, Netflix
As long as
shows,
we ain't
the
just out
s-
here
the
broke.
streaming shows. What was that?
Like, I'm cool with that as long as you're just not out here broke. Like, if we're out here
Of
just
course.
broke and struggling, of course
But
not.
it comes
Like,
to a point
but-
where, again, women, they have an abundant mindset. You can't take it away from them. Hypergamy is a real thing, and I'm not saying that hypergamy means that, oh my God, she's just gonna go ahead and just cheat with anyone and everyone. So it just comes down to the situation. Most women will not wait because of the specific situation of facilitating the reality.
You don't have to wait.
I've seen so many broke couples, so I just can't really.
Would you date a broke man?
I have.
Will you do it now?
You
You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
You know
That-
you
that's
learned.
a yes? Is that a yes?
Though? Like
Bro-
broke.
Yeah,
like-
what's
Okay,
broke?
let me
How broke is broke?
He makes 20,000 a year.
Less than 50 is broke today, bro.
I'm
Shit.
going poverty. I just want poverty.
Yeah,
20,000.
yeah.
You're not dating a man.
You didn't say poverty. You said broke.
20,000 a year. You're not doing that. Y'all not going. Y'all not going
but
nowhere. You're not doing that.
saying that like to be like, rude. It's just
It's not rude. You're a woman, and I think
Yeah,
every
it's
woman should
okay.
want a guy that can take care
Yeah,
of you.
no,
It's
the
your
thing-
natural instinct.
It's
you know?
underlying issues. if
Unless
he's
you
your
want
age.
me to be the man.
right.
That's not very
And
natural,
then
don't you
I'm really
think?
gonna
No.
talk
I don't think
to
we've been doing that for
Yeah.
10,000 years.
crazy.
There are other underlying issues if he's your age making that much too. That means you're lacking ambition.
Sorry.
You're not trying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of underlying
Yeah.
issues if you're that age making that much too.
Here, I want to read this comment. Daniel Thomas commented, can you click that for me? As a man becomes more successful, options go up. As a woman makes more money,
Options go
her
down.
options become less.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
Facts.
I agree.
Yeah, it's actually dangerous for a woman to take her career too serious and take it too far, because then you're going to be shooting for the guy that makes 150, 200K.
You'll be Oprah.
Yeah, there's only 10% of men make over $100,000 a year. So that's it. And then half of those men are married.
Mhm.
So you gotta be careful.
And I've learned with dealing with guys like to that certain stature that make a certain amount of money, they want a certain femininity in a
Mhm.
girl, in a woman.
They want you to sit around and quit your job.
not even sit around, quit your job, but it's kind of like they just need to feel that macho-ness. Like they just need to feel like I notice guys like to feel like a superhero, like they're saving you from something, or like you need them. Like I've noticed a lot of guys need to feel needed.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, it's whatever you want to call it. Like as in y'all's nature, that's what y'all need. Y'all need to feel needed, which is understandable. And just like us, we want to feel wanted. Just like, not saying that y'all don't want to feel wanted too, but I feel like for a woman to be in her 100% feminine energy, she needs to feel wanted. She needs to feel protected and all that. Because I noticed all those in any time in my life where I wasn't the most feminine I could have been, it was in times where I didn't feel what I needed from the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I had to.
He wasn't exemplifying in the areas necessary.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that because of social programming, when a man is out there, because I would argue that most men don't even, like, if you do have the time to be really injecting everything that's being displayed on the streaming shows and yada yada yada, then you have too much time on your hand as a man. But for women, when you're home and you're taking care of the children and you're looking for things to go ahead and pass the time, the social programming is so much stronger, like that men really don't have that authority over their own family anymore. And this is the reason why, because a lot of people will look at it as ego. This is why I say that the woman should look at him as God, because he has the final say.
Facts.
And
I can agree with that.
he
Who has the final
displays
say?
what gets taught. He gets this.
Man, I
He
don't
display.
know.
He's the example. As long as he's exemplifying those areas necessary. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying that some weak bum is gonna have that type of
Yeah, no, I
option.
agree. I agree with you.
So I'm telling
yeah.
you that at the end of the day, if he's doing that, and you all are having children, especially sons, because for daughters it's a little bit less lenient. We just want to make sure our daughters are happy. But for the sons that are carrying on the last name, it's
It's
so
way different.
important that their programming is on point. It's sharp. With it doesn't mean that they have to do exactly what the man is doing in life. But as far as the traits that got him to his success,
Should be the
they
guidance.
should be, yes. And the woman should be basically being the backbone of that,
hmm
making sure that she's teaching those traits as well
That's
to the
a
children.
traditional.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so far away from family values.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten
I'm big on family.
so exactly. And again, you may be the anomaly. You
Mhm.
may be the exception, but because of what everything that's being taught in pop culture, music, whether it's Nicki, whether it's Cardi, whoever it is, even though it's funny that Cardi literally has
A
an
family.
Offset, and literally again, like it's just
She be
funny
cooking and
how
cleaning.
it goes.
Yeah,
She be
not
cooking
practicing
and
what
cleaning.
No,
preaching
she
is.
said, I don't cook, I don't
Yeah,
clean.
exactly.
gotta
But then
learn.
we got videos of her
Yeah.
cooking and
She's
cleaning
not
by
practicing what she's
Offset.
preaching. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's just are you playing a specific image for pop culture, and are you being someone different whenever you're in your home life? That's the thing. Is as entertainers, I understand how important that is. You know, you don't have to be the exact congruent person online and offline, because we understand how important entertainment is. But like I said, because of the social programming, most women right now, they do believe that they deserve more than they're truly entitled to.
I could see that because a lot of girls don't be on shit, and they be expecting
They on
the
the fuck
house,
shit,
the
huh?
car, the ring, the this, they're that, just because they look good. And it's like, you gotta come with you gotta come with a little bit more. So
Well,
I
when
can
there's a
see that.
million Simpson in them up, enabling them like we were talking
Their
about,
mindset is
you can understand why a
molded.
woman's head can get so big
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
Yeah.
their ego can get a little bit
And
too
just
far.
like guys, when they're used to girls fucking with them simply for their money,
For their looks or money,
and
both.
yeah, for the looks
Or
of their money, then
fame.
they expect a girl to fall head over heels because you got money. Because I just experienced it here recently. I'm not gonna say any names or
They
anything,
get used
but
to it.
I had this one particular guy that he got money or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. And he felt some type of way because I ghosted him.
Yeah. He's
And
not used to that shit.
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
just like I said, they don't excite me. That means nothing.
You're used to it. You're used to it.
Yeah, and I've done it multiple times. And n- not anything to brag on, but it doesn't mean anything. This just an example of how you can have it all or be used to this. And it means
I don't
nothing.
care how much money you make. I'm not gonna always just listen, and I'm gonna say what I need to say at the end of the day.
Because I'm my own person.
Yeah,
Unless he had all the traits and he was doing everything perfect for you.
but
You would maybe do
even
that's
that?
not
still,
gonna. I
though.
mean, where are you gonna find that at?
I'm not saying
You'd be
It's-
that.
surprised.
it's
There's
possible.
unicorns
It's
out there,
possible.
but
Yeah.
you're looking in the wrong places
Yeah, that's the
sometimes.
word,
There's a big
unicorn.
sourcing. There's a big sourcing issue today for women and men. Women are sourcing men horribly because y'all have so many options coming into you that you have to filter. That's why there's what sign are you? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's filter a guy just because he's a Taurus, because
Yeah.
you got so much coming in, you just need to just get rid of some of those choices coming in. But for a guy, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You're sitting there just hoping for whatever you can
We
get.
look for
sometimes.
reasons to qualify. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
She
I'm
got a
not
bad
saying
attitude, but she's
either.
pretty.
I'm not saying either that the woman should just shut up and listen.
Mhm.
There should be communication, proper
Mhm.
communication between the two, especially when raising a family long term and doing what y'all have to do. But at the end of the day, men have to rely on their logic, and most women rely on their emotions to make decisions.
I mean, if
Mhm.
you ask me, my ideal, I like if I can trust my man enough for the final say so.
Mhm.
That's how I want it to be. But it all
There's not a
goes
lot of
back
those
to
men, huh?
say, exactly, it goes back to say I have to be able to trust your word. Because my biggest thing is if like I said, I'm a pretty strong person. I'm very intuitive. I'm very smart. I feel like I'm very wise. So I have to feel a certain energy from you for me to let you lead me.
Yeah, but how do you even source a guy? It's so hard. You got 20 guys to filter. That's why I feel bad for women sometimes because they have so much coming at them. How are they even supposed to pick the right guy? Every guy's a scammer today. They're all scammers. They're all acting like they have way more views, way more money. It is so easy to act like you're $100,000 millionaire. It is so easy to sit. And then these guys are making $50K a year.
Yeah.
and they're going
There's
to the
nothing
club.
wrong with that.
They're going to like. I mean, there's something wrong with that if you're acting like
Right.
if you're sitting there buying if you're
Exactly.
wasting your money on the stupid shit. You don't have a
Buying
401k.
$300 bottles at $60 in the club.
Yeah,
I mean,
but, you don't
$300
even
in the
you don't
club
even
and
have a
$60 at the store.
401k. You don't even have an IRA. You don't have an
Yeah.
HSA. You're not focused on your future, your savings at all. Those and women, but honestly, what are y'all most attracted to?
The ones that
Sometimes it's
portray
the
that
guys that
image.
are doing
The
that
ones that
shit.
portray
If
that
I sat
image.
there and bragged to you about my 401k, my HSA, my IRA, I don't think y'all
You
are
look
gonna
like
think
a
it's that
nerd.
cool. I look like a fucking nerd. Yeah, it's not that cool. But if a guy sits there and he goes to the club and he got all the drip on and he's cool, they're more likely to get the girls
But
all
see,
day.
me, I'm
They're
like,
getting
I know you got hoes.
See, but
Like, I see a
women
guy
get
like
finessed
that.
though. That's all I'm saying.
I'm also not gonna date a man that I meet in the club.
That's good then,
I don't
because
believe
yeah,
you.
I'm
mean,
not.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to. I'm
if
telling
he meets
you.
the
Well,
requirements,
well,
you
date
will.
or sleep with? Would you sleep with a guy that you meet in the club?
Yeah.
If he was cool
I'm just
enough.
If I like him, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay. So I
I'm not
mean,
gonna
I'm
lie about
attracted to
that.
it.
yeah.
But that's just all it
But
is.
dating, just like people say, like, oh, I'm not gonna date someone that works in the club. Well, I mean,
You a fucker.
you still
Just
gonna be
depends on
there.
how
in
good
the
that
beginning,
I guess
Right,
that
like-
kind of makes sense though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how good that D is.
It goes
Depends on
two
how
ways,
good.
baby.
Here, I want some spicy stuff really quick. I want y'all all to make one critique about each other, and y'all can be nice, you can be mean, you can do
Like
whatever you
to
want.
our friend.
No, to the guys. Like y'all two are both gonna do a critique about these guys
Oh.
about
I
what
don't
you
have
think about
anything
them.
negative to say about them.
Man,
You're
no, I don't
lying.
want
You're
every
lying.
there's no such thing as a perfect person in this world. Everybody has flaws, and we've all listened to each other enough to know a little bit about each other. And there might be one flaw, and it's okay to hear some negativity about each other. It's okay to accept accountability that we might not all be perfect people. I want to hear the ladies first give one thing
let
about.
them do it first.
Yeah, let them do it
So
first,
we
and
can
then
go based off of that.
Okay. All right, here. I want you to go first, man. Just give them one honest, just true, honest from
Yeah.
your heart critique to help them get the man of their dreams that they really probably want.
I can't specifically garner any information as far as your subjective experiences, but what I normally tell most women that are attractive, out especially in their younger 20s, is when you do meet a man that fully exemplifies those areas necessary to garner the respect from you fully, don't be afraid to be your full feminine self.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to and have that communication. And again, it's not very common in the minority community. We understand that we have a big deficit to come up from a lot of times, especially if you're from out of the country and your family is from out of the country. It's a communication barrier. I believe it's the most. But when you do find a man that's willing to not be a coward, to not lie about things or whatever it is, give that some thoughtful consideration and allow yourself to be your full feminine self.
Okay.
Really good advice, bro. Like honestly, that's some of
Mhm.
the best shit I've ever heard. What about you, Stephen?
I ain't had no negative feedback. I think you are a little bit how should I say it?
Easy now.
Guarded?
Not guarded like you. I think you should let a man be a man. I feel like you want to keep your independence so strong. If you get the right guy, you'll run him off by doing that.
I agree with that.
Like you're like hell bent. I'm not getting married. I'm not having kids. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Like you're a woman. Be soft.
I agree with that. But like you said, when I find the man that's gonna make me feel that way or do that for me, like to let me be like that with him or like open, like be vulnerable, I will. But I haven't.
You don't
so,
think you met him yet?
No, because like you said, I will say like the guys that I do talk to, they're not the best.
You will. You definitely will.
Well,
You'll come across a couple of them.
I think sometimes women have to also think about their filter that's coming through because I think everybody needs to always take accountability. So if there's like this certain type of guy that keeps coming through, you might need to check yourself.
no,
I'll
Be
yeah.
like, is it a certain type of guy that you keep letting into
No,
you?
for sure. Cause
you know?
I hear it from my dad all the time. He tells me I'm probably gonna be single for the rest of my
No,
life.
you're too. That
So,
won't happen.
but,
If you set it as a goal for it not to be, now you only get what you focus on. Now, if you want to, you said you don't want to do the marriage and kids. If you don't want to do it, you'll never do it.
Mhm.
But if you make it a goal to be married and have kids, you'll do that because you'll find the right guy.
Mhm.
You'll filter through all the fuck boys and you'll find the right guy. I also think the industry you're in, you're around a whole lot of dudes who just, live a certain type
Faking.
of lifestyle.
Scammers, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
She said something earlier that touched me. She was like, I'd rather have a dude that didn't live on the internet who lived in real life. I've always told people I did that. I've told people for years, like, I never post much of anything. since like 2015, 16. I don't really post on Instagram or Facebook, but I could have posted a whole lot, and I just never do because I don't
Yeah,
care
you got a
to.
lot of stuff in your archives on your phone.
I
Yeah,
have a
that-
gang of shit in my phone,
Yeah,
but
that,
yeah.
I agree with you so much on that one too, dude. I tell guys all the time, you need to remove every picture on your thing because if anything, women like mystery. They like to not know about this person.
but since I moved here 7 weeks ago, I said I'm gonna start posting Instagram now. Like I gotta start posting now. But I just don't. I live in the real world.
I truly agree with you
I
on that,
don't
and
do
women
it.
respect that. I think women really like
But
a man.
if
Like,
I
real
would have been doing
woman.
it the past 5 years, my following and the I would be on another stratosphere. But I just chose not to never do that. I kind of kick myself for not doing it.
I think it makes you look more like an alpha, bro. Honestly,
I could have
like
portrayed
honestly, I really think it looks
something
better.
way different, man. But
I think it looks way better. But so, do you have any advice for her? You know, like you pointed at her. Do you have any advice for her too, or kind of the same?
anything negative,
Yeah, anything negative? Well, just advice, you know, to help her get into the relationship of her dreams.
I don't have anything negative.
Yeah, she was already traditional and pretty
Yeah, I
right
mean
on
her
everything.
base it sounds pretty good. I mean, I would tell you one thing.
Picked better guys.
I would tell her
Huh.
get out of that industry. I think that industry jades a lot of women. It fucks them up. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I think women being around certain people, especially in their 20s, your prime years, I think it fucks your head up. I think that industry messes up a lot of women
I can
because
see it.
you're around a
Mhm.
certain type of guy and you'll never go down from there. If you're around dudes who make six figures, a couple millionaires, you'll never date a
I know
regular
you see
dude.
the girls at Bob Blondes that are 30 plus and they still there and their baby daddy's breaking up with them. Stuff. You don't want to be one of those girls at Bob Blonde at 35. I'm
Yeah,
serious. You don't want to be one
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
funny.
that's some good advice though, bro. Ladies, I gotta hear y'all. I mean, they were pretty soft on y'all. Y'all gonna be soft or hard on these guys?
I
Like,
mean,
let's hear. Come on, Kaylin.
so my biggest thing that I would just say is don't solely focus on your success or your status as a guy. Like, also make sure that you're able to be emotionally connected to your woman. Like, because I feel like a lot of guys, that's where they mess up at, is trying to make sure their status is this. Because when you look at other men and you see the men that are getting the women that you want, the praise that you want, they have a certain type of status, but they're not getting genuine love. I feel like they're getting women that want them for what they have. You're not getting a woman that wants you for you. So don't be afraid to show that emotional side, because a real woman who wants you for who you are, she wants to see that soft emotional side.
It's transactional though. Do you think that's okay? Or you think that's not okay?
What?
It's transactional. If I raise my status up and I get a runway model, she's with me because I have status. I'm with her because she has beauty. Do you think that's okay?
I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for. Like, if you're looking for a status relationship, then yeah, go for it.
And there are
If
some
you're
people like that. Yeah.
yeah, if you're
I'm not gonna lie, I'm wired like that.
yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that.
if you're looking for
If I
genuine love,
lose it, I know she's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly fine with that.
yeah, but like if you're somebody you're looking for a genuine connection, then no, because you know she's only with you because of what you have. So whenever you really fall on your ass, you're really sad, you're really down, you know she's not going to be there the way you need her to be. So what's even the point of even wasting your time?
I really agree with her on the whole emotion thing. This is something I
Yeah.
really try to teach red pill men, man. Like even stoicism, if you look at true stoicism from Marcus Aurelius from reading his book, he doesn't sit there and preach to be a stone cold stone and not show any emotion at all. He actually teaches you how to go through the flow of emotions. And a lot of men aren't learning that. They like hear the word stoic and they're not realizing that there's a difference between the stoicism from Marcus Aurelius' book and just being a stoic man. And guys really need to learn to go through the flow of those emotions. Yeah, you don't react to your woman. Me and my girl fight all the time, and what makes me look like the man I'm supposed to be is because I don't act out of emotion. But we still need to ride with them, and I'm still very emotional with my girl. I'm able to show
Yeah,
them,
and like
and I'm able to do things that a lot of the internet says never to do, like even cry.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
that's
doing that
something
one. I
that
was just about to say
yeah,
It's
that.
yeah,
so much
and that's
beauty
something
in
that a lot
that.
of guys will disagree with, but I will still do it because
I did it once in front of an ex, but it was because of a
I
funeral,
think it
so was
depends
different.
on two things. It depends on how high your stature really is. Like how high of a man you really are if you're able to get away with that with your woman, because then it's harder for you to be replaced. But then also the woman that you choose, because obviously some women are going to call you a fucking bitch and call you a little girl for doing
Yes,
that,
because like
and some women are going to respect you and be like,
I think
man, he's that hard all the time, and then he finally broke down, and he only broke down this one time in
because you
front of
gotta
me.
I
look at
think
it
it
like,
depends on the circumstance too. Mine was because of a funeral, so it was different.
and then
And
it's
that's
kind of like
sad, man. That's
too,
honestly really
That's
sad.
the only time
Honestly.
she seen me cry.
if you don't allow yourself, like with guys, I feel like why I feel like it's so important to express your emotions, because like when you try so hard not to, you're suppressing them. And so when you're suppressing them, you're not dealing with them. And when you're not dealing with them, it becomes a buildup. And then you express all the emotions in wrong ways, which is giving your communication barrier is off, because now you have all these other things that are built up that you suppress that are coming out in different ways, that if you would have just acknowledged those emotions and dealt with them at that moment, they would have came off in a better way, making your communication even better. But when you're just constantly trying to suppress them and trying to remain and uphold this certain standard and this certain look, you're really cheating yourself in the end, because you're giving off a false interpretation of how you're truly feeling about things.
I really want to say I do agree with you though, because guys need to be careful, because you cannot do this with every girl, like you're
No.
saying.
Yeah.
Like Kaylin might be one of those girls that my girlfriend might be one of those girls that like
But
a guy
most
could do that
aren't.
with, but most of them, Toby might not be that type of girl. There might be a lot
You
of
cry in
girls
front
that,
of her, she's gonna dump you.
yeah, she's gonna dump you instantly. You know, you never know.
Let's hear Toby's thoughts.
Yeah. Toby, I want to hear your what's your constructive criticism for both of them?
I mean, y'all didn't really do it a whole lot, but like I will say, I wouldn't just go based off of, oh, because y'all work in the industry, you're already kind of expecting us to be a certain way or have a certain mindset or like do certain things. And I would say that for a lot of people, because I've had it to where like I'm very guarded. I think I even saw someone
I
say
can
like
tell.
I need therapy. I agree. I
You
do.
read the
Somebody
chat?
said that, friend.
I don't care. Like that's
Yeah,
fine.
don't read the chat.
My dad tells me, my mom says she encourages me to go into therapy. But yeah, I would say like just because like I said, I'm very guarded, and I feel like Kaylin is too. I'm like just because we work in the night industry or bottle service, that's just not like what it is. Like we don't just go based, like everyone thinks that bottle girls go solely off of money and blah blah blah. Like it's really not like that. So I would just say like, get to know the person first, because I've had it to where so many people like I've let a guy in
Judged you.
and he's like, you're not what I thought you would be.
Do you think it perverts women though to be in that industry?
Like, what do you mean? Like, as far as like they see us a certain
They'll
way?
come in a nice girl and they'll leave out a bad girl. It'll
I've seen
it'll
it.
change them. It'll change
For
them.
sure. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it didn't change me. I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, it does.
I
It
can
definitely
tell.
does mess with our.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just that's my job. Like that's just what I do, because I want to stay out of the clubs on the weekends, and I make good money.
Of course.
So like, yeah, I do that because why? I don't want a man to have to like take care of me, rely on a man. All the things that I have are because of myself. So that's why I feel the way that I feel. Like I can take care of myself, and the things that I can do for myself, like, I whatever a man can do, I can do for me as well.
You're gonna find a guy who's gonna take care of you, and he ain't gonna worry about none of that.
Well, I would love that.
He gonna bless you. You gonna be like,
Princess
man,
treatment.
But like I
Princess
said,
treatment
not
only.
meaning we need our rent paid. I just want someone I can call when I have a flat tire, because I don't know
He
how to
gonna do
change.
all that
oil.
and
How
I
is
don't know
this
how to
not a
change
thing
oil.
anymore? How is this such a crazy thing that girls can't even get a guy to change their flat tire?
Because a lot of guys, they're like, I'll just pay for it.
Right.
I'll just get my AAA. I'll just pay for it.
I
Bill,
see
don't
a
even worry
huge
about it.
issue with women picking men and men picking women sometimes. This is
Well,
crazy,
I'll
dude.
be honest,
Because
I'll have to disagree with the entirety of what we discussed as far as emotions.
yeah, go for it. Bro.
Women communicate covertly, which is secretive. They don't communicate overtly very often. And if it is, it's normally with their own girlfriends. So regardless of what you're telling us or whatever you're telling the camera, we know that biologically you are hardwired to seek the most strong men that are willing to go ahead and go through whatever is necessary to go ahead and get to where they need to be. This is the reason why men need strong circles of men along with them. And I will say that most men, they're around goofies.
Yeah.
They're around dudes that just are flowing through life. They don't really have a direction. They don't have an aim. They're just drifting.
Or raised by single moms.
And yes, that's a big thing as well in the minority community, unfortunately. As far as your emotions go, if you are going to show emotions as a man, you need a circle of men that are strong, that are going to help you get through that, because your emotions normally don't adhere to a specific solution. They just have you running circles over the thoughts, feelings, and temporary things that are going on in your life. If you want to be a man that truly is seeking and forming solutions, you need to get to the point where you are thinking logically as soon as possible. I'm not saying that men should be emotionless. It's impossible. We have emotions as a species. It's why we are where we are. We're the dominant species on planet Earth for a reason. It's the reason why it's funny, because this is the reason why grape culture isn't as prominent as women think, because men are actually taught not to do that, and we know that. And not saying that there are men that are out there that are weak that will go ahead and take advantage. Again, I can't do anything about that, but it's a very low percentage in that aspect. Weak men do crazy things.
Yeah.
These are the
No, I can definitely agree with
weak men
that.
that rely on their emotions. They're the ones
But me
that
saying that was like not in a sense to say to rely on your emotions. It's more so because I'm a woman, so I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not an emotional being. But at the same time, I'm very logical. But so with me being very logical, I also understand that in order to understand your emotions, you have to process them and let them out. So, in order for you to get past that emotion and know how to deal with it in the future, you have to deal with it and talk with it. And a lot of times, people don't know how to deal with them on their own. The reason why people need therapists and counselors and all these medications and all these other things, it's because like you just got to know how to deal with them. And I feel like that's another reason why people need to be very selective with who their partners are, because you should be able to speak with your partner and
I
open up with
disagree.
your
I
partner
disagree.
and be like be open. That's what makes your partner your partner. Like
Well,
you
let her know like who we should be laying our emotions
I was
out to.
just
Because
about,
I
I was
already
just
know
about
the
to
red
say
pill
that.
point. What does red pill say that you should let your emotions out
I
to?
was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I let my emotions out with a bunch of old dudes that smoke
and
cigars
that's
with.
cool
But
too.
I won't
Whatever
do
you
it. I
call
won't do it
it.
with my woman.
Yeah.
If I got 7 uncles. I smoke cigars with a bunch of old guys. If I need to vent something or let something out, or even cry or bitch and complain and whine and moan,
You do it with
I'm not
them.
doing it with my woman or a woman or my sisters
Which
or
is
my mom. I'm
understandable
doing it with a bunch
because
of guys, and
like you
I
said,
let it
because
out. Then I'm back stoic again, and I'm in front of them. And they see me solid.
this doesn't mean that
I
you
could
can't communicate properly with whatever woman you have in your life. But as far as, again, there's a biological firmware hardwire in women that they see any type of weakness in you,
Mm-hmm.
they start looking elsewhere. And it's not saying they're going to take action on that right away, but it comes to a point where it's for their survival. It's a part of their DNA. Women cannot survive without a strong men, without strong
But
men
just because
leading.
you're showing emotion, that's why I say I think at the end of the day, it all depends on who you're dealing with.
It's
Because
it's
for me personally, a guy showing emotions, I'm not gonna look at him as any less.
it really
Because
depends on
you're
how high
human,
up he is to you, though. It really depends how
yeah.
valuable he is to you. Like
But
if he make like I'm telling you, the only reason why I can get away with this with my girl, because I've had multiple relationships over the last decade. Y'all both know. And there's certain girls that I did that with. It's not work. It's make me look like a
yeah,
pussy.
and that's
Okay.
why I said it
But
all
you
depends
have
on
to
who you
be,
with.
you got to be at a certain level. No, it has nothing to do with that. If I made $50,000 a year, I guarantee you she would not look at me the same. And that's just
Facts.
the world that we live in.
Facts.
It's a very sad reality of the world. But because I make a good living and I provide for her very well,
It's different. It's
you're able
different.
to take a little bit more. I'm able to act like a little bit more of a bit. I tell guys all the time on here, I am the most unstoic man. I sit here and I preach relationships to everybody. I am so unstoic. You can ask my girl. We fight all the time. I emotionally react whenever I shouldn't all the time. And that's my proof
But that's
that
the thing. That's the
anybody
reason
can
why I
be
feel
in a
like
relationship.
guys should be more emotional because they try to act like they're not. But just like you said, there's moments when y'all acting y'all emotions a lot harder than any other time that y'all would. It's just like it's showing that
You
y'all have
shouldn't do it,
emotions, so
though.
just do it.
But like you shouldn't do it. The only reason why I know I can get away with it.
Yeah.
And so most guys
But
can't.
like it
Though.
goes back
Most
to what I
guys
said. It
can't.
depends on who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
It depends on who your person is and who you're dealing with.
I just think they have to be very valuable.
If
Well,
a
if that
man,
was the
They have to
if a
be
case,
up
man
there.
cried and complained to you, would you stay with him?
Yeah.
no, but if that was the case, why are there such things as man caves? Why are there such things as, back in the day, there were studies, which I wish that we could bring back a lot more than man caves, because again, a man needs his personal space to
It
think
has nothing
through
to do
process.
though with
I'm
with
talking
you showing
about
your emotions.
I'm talking about problems that may happen within the relationship, that may happen with the children, whatever it is, so that he doesn't overreact emotionally. An overreactive man will beat the crap out of whatever child
I
it
agree.
is
It's a
Yeah.
dangerous thing.
without logical reason, just because that's what comes over him at the specific time.
Mhm.
I've seen it within myself. Trust me, I've gotten my ass whooped in many ways. in probably ways that I didn't necessarily deserve it, but that was just because what took place in that specific moment. There are lots of other men that go through that as well. Again, I'm not saying that men are emotionless or should be emotionless, but this is the reason why a strong circle of men behind you, heading towards a specific goal, a specific direction, not just walking aimlessly in life, is so, so important. Because when men shoot the shit and we start talking about things with each other, the solutions come very quickly.
Mhm.
The getting over it process it's pretty quick, very much quicker than going ahead and discussing it with your woman or whatever it is. And again, y'all are communicating overtly as we speak right now, but women primarily communicate covertly, secretively.
Yeah, I mean,
And
and I
this is
feel like when it like even comes to like when you sound like you need a good circle of men around you, it just goes back like I was saying, like with your woman, like it's all about who you have around you, because who's to say that group of guys that you're relying on to express your emotions is the best
it
interest for
isn't
you.
always.
Yeah, and so that's the reason why like at the end of the day, regardless friends, relationship, whatever, it's all about who you have around with you, how genuine they are, how genuine you are with them, and if y'all are just being y'all true, genuine selves with each other. Like I feel like anybody you have around you, woman, friend, you should be able to openly express yourselves and know that you can just trust them enough to openly express yourself. That's friends or a relationship, because there's a lot of friends or so-called friends that people have around them. They express themselves, and then your own friend will go expose you for being a bitch or being a
And those are
pussy.
weak men you shouldn't be around.
But
This is
that's
the
what I'm
reason why.
saying. So it all goes down to
This
who
is
do
the
you
reason
have
why
around you.
This is why I say discernment is such a powerful thing that a man must truly master in his life. Discernment with women and men. And if you don't have that, you will fall privy to weak people entering your life, and its complexity as well, entering your life, whether it's women or men. Uh, this is why I say a man should always be his own mental point of origin. This is the reason why he sets the frame in every relationship that he allows in his life, in his frame. Most men, unfortunately, don't have the confidence or the courage to even think in that capacity,
Mhm.
to even vet relationships with men and women in that capacity. But this is the reason why we're doing what we're doing today in 2022 and beyond, because we have a widespread epidemic of men since 1965, when birth control was first introduced to the marketplace and women basically became their own filters of reproduction. Men have been taught to be more emotional.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what led to the sexual revolution
Yep.
and to the hippies and yada, 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 and what we've seen in the past 30, 40 years. And we are seeing right now that it has gotten us nowhere.
We went
That's
backwards.
We have gone backwards. There are more men that do not even have the attempt to reproduce for their own last name and their own lineage at all whatsoever because of their emotions. This is the reason why they rely on pornography. This is the
30%
reason.
of men aren't going to have kids, probably. Yeah.
Yep.
30% of this younger
I
generation.
would like to throw one more thing out there. After being single and dating a long time, I will show the woman the ups of my emotions, but I never show the downs. Like when I'm sad or depressed or broke or feeling bad,
see, but I would want to
You
know.
have
Like
to be
me,
a
the
very
type of woman
privileged
I
man.
know,
I know you would want to
I
know,
would
but
wanna
I'm never gonna
know.
show it to you.
It's only a very privileged man that can get away with it. Like,
And
you gotta
I mean,
understand.
I can see it because like I have all brothers, so I understand. Like I'm literally the only girl, so I get it 100%. You know, but
Yeah, you're not gonna see
Just
it.
understand, if a guy made $150,000-$200,000 a year, yeah, you'd probably be cool with it. And
Yeah.
and honestly, you're only shooting for the best kind of men, because you
Mhm.
are both, like we made it established many times, you are both beautiful girls. So you are
you.
only going for guys that are of a certain level, you know?
Oh,
Mhm.
is this yours?
Y'all can share it. No, you got one too.
you.
But
Hey,
yeah,
get the
so
likes up,
you're
chat.
always going, yeah, get the likes up, please. But you're only going for a certain level of guy anyway. So you're saying, you'd accept that probably for a certain level of a man.
I
But
would never
he
show
was
it.
acting like a bitch. Yeah, but honestly, most men, 90%,
I mean, but showing
95% of men
emotions
shouldn't
doesn't
do
mean
it.
you have to act like a bitch. I just feel like at the end of the day, you're showing emotions. Like me, I'm gonna show my emotions, but
It's
over
okay
the
for you.
years
It's okay for you.
no, but over the years I've learned how to express those emotions. So there's been a me where I was super irrational with expressing my emotions, and then there's me now when I'm rational expressing my emotions, where I process my emotions first before I display them to someone else.
I think,
But I'm gonna be open with them, like I'm not gonna hide them. It's just a point of being irrational and being rational,
I think-
processing your emotions before you show them to someone else.
I think what he was really trying to also show, though, is that like men, when we live in our emotions, like women are emotional creatures. Like we
Facts.
know that because y'all
From the
gotta
get-go.
y'all gotta raise kids. Y'all got to do all types of stuff that take super emotions.
Up and down,
okay.
up and down.
Yes,
up and down.
yeah, and mostly raising kids. You need to be a very emotional person to be able to have the sympathy to raise child correctly. So I truly believe that it's good for women to have that. But he's talking about, like the shooters, the school shooters, people, these guys that are doing a lot of crazy stuff. They're in their emotions. There are men that are way too emotional. So what they're saying is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
If you're a top fucking 5% guy, y'all might be able to get away with it like me. But really, guys, most guys can't get away with that shit, honestly. And I agree with them completely on that.
I'll show the upside. I'm not showing the down.
Here, what does that comment say? The quickest way to make a woman unhappy is give her everything she wants.
Facts.
No, I had another thing.
I can agree.
All right, so to close it up, I had one last thing I wanted to do with everybody. What number would y'all rate each other as relationship people? Not just based off of looks, but based off of if you saw them in a relationship, would you be like, man, that's a 10? They're the best person in a damn relationship, or they're a 2? I would never date this person. It would be horrible. Okay, we're gonna start with last time y'all made the guys go, so y'all are going first this time. We'll go with you, Kaylin. I need a number for both of them of what you think they are in a relationship from 1 to 10. The best relationship ever at 10, the worst relationship ever at 1.
I mean, I'm a deep person, so I need to know a little more. So
Just based off of what you've learned,
I mean, y'all both seem like y'all are pretty aware of a lot of things. Dang, I don't like this.
We got to. I gotta hear a number.
Man, you
My
can get deeper over
feelings.
Perry's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
look.
Yeah. He's a 10 right here.
Look, okay, look, you're a 10. I was kidding. I would say
Man, I love Perry's too.
me too. I'm gonna give y'all both 7s. I'm just gonna say 7s. I need to know a little bit more.
Okay.
But I mean, y'all both seem pretty aware of like y'all like masculine energy. That's what I'm big on.
Traditionally conservative men.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll give y'all a 7.
That's why they get a 7. No, that's
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
highest number we've gotten on the show so far during this question, during the
Really?
relationship question. Yeah, everybody else was giving 4 and 5s on all the other
Damn, that
episodes
bad?
for this question. Yeah. So what do you think? Would you see these guys as relationships 1 through 10?
It's Julian. I think you're super nice. But I think just with how my personality is, I would probably a 0. Because no, like not in a disrespectful way. Just the way that you've been answering everything, yeah, we would bump heads all the time. So like,
So relationship with you 0, but like, how do you see him in just a relationship? Period. Do you think he's a good guy for a good boyfriend if he was in one? Or,
I'm sure.
he is in
Yes,
one.
for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just for you, he's a 0.
Yes, because we would definitely bump heads.
And you just don't want a guy who you're gonna argue with. You want a guy who can
I don't
control.
want a guy that I can
Wapata.
control, but I also don't want a guy who I feel like who they're gonna think because they are a male that they are always right.
I dealt with that and I hated it.
And like you are like the way you've been answering, I feel like in an argument you're gonna come out with like statistics.
Too many facts.
And I'm
Wait, are
like,
you a Capricorn?
Too
what are
many
you?
facts, bro. Don't tell them
Yeah.
your
I'm
sign. We
whatever I
don't.
need to
I'm gonna be like,
we teach
it's
men
a
not
yes,
to tell signs.
It's
We
a
don't tell
yes
signs.
or a no. Like that's all I need. Yes
I don't
or no.
kiss and tell.
Man, she doesn't like the stoic man, dude. She doesn't like somebody who got facts on her. All right, guys, let's hear y'all. Let's Stefan. We'll start with you, bro. Like, what do you give each one of them on a relationship level?
I would give you a 6.
Okay, I thought it was honestly gonna be a 0.
No, you're not. You're not a bad girl. I can just tell you just stuff in your past and people probably you deal with. They probably just not jaded you. I don't want to use that word, but I think, like you said, you're a guard. Your guard's up.
Mhm.
I feel like your guard's high up on dudes. You're like, oh, these dudes just fuck boys. He got money. You know how dudes are with
Right,
money.
yeah.
You just kind of you seem like you're sick of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're sick of the rich guy.
And I will say that's also comes with me working at the club in the weekends. I
course.
see it a lot, and I'm like, it's the same thing. So
and then on top of that, you don't want to date normal guys. 'Cause they don't have the lifestyle and the money, but you want to date the rich guys, but they act a certain way. So you're like
Mhm.
stuck in the limbo.
yeah.
I'm not a woman, but I can 100% see how women live life.
Mhm.
I get, because if I was a woman, I'd probably be just like you. I'd be like, look, I don't want the broke boy, but the guy who's making $500K a year, he's acting funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know he got bitches, so it's just like
Mhm.
I put up with
And
him.
then there's this fake dude who's making 50K a year, but he looks like he makes 200K a year.
But he's playing. His debit card got declined. So it's just, you know, I'll give you a
No,
6 with great potential. Do I got to give her a rating?
Yeah, dude, you got to, man.
Oh my god. What?
She a 10, huh? She tried con, bro. If you don't get her, YouTube will.
I give you 8 or a 9.
Oh, thanks. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
I'm
So
not gonna explain it, but yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think we already know. Julian, what's
Yeah.
up?
I'll take it.
All right. So, because I like to give objective and subjective. Objectively,
You see the
I
facts.
I believe the general type of men would probably put y'all both in like the 7.5 and above category, but subjectively speaking, because of how picky I am in lots of areas, whether it's the looks, whether it's the attitude, whether it's the communication. I'll do 5.5, even though sexual tension is okay. And I'll do 6.5.
Okay.
You gotta put the 0.5 in there. It's
0.5.
it's not one number or the other. It has to be in between, guys.
In between.
No, that was some really good. That's the highest numbers we've ever had. So this has to be a panel of people that are good, which we already know you're pretty good in a relationship, bro, or else you wouldn't be in one. But yeah, so we already know this is a panel of people that are very good. I know YouTube has to snatch somebody up or these two. I guess we're gonna do a double day at Perry's this weekend, right, guys?
Look, I just have to
Me and my girl love that
ask.
place.
I just want to know everybody's. I know her sign, but I want to know y'all's zodiac sign.
Not disclosed.
Oh my god.
What?
You just
The
have to
zodiac
say
sign?
it.
Hey man, I teach men not to sell their zodiac
with- I'm
sign
with you.
because
Here's the
you-
thing.
I'm
I'm
not-
not gonna
you may never
generalize.
go on a date with him just
I
because he says
I
it.
just feel like he's an earth. No, I'm not that type of girl, but I just feel like he's an earth sign.
Oh man, you're an earth sign. I don't even
I
know
don't know
which
what that means.
symbols
Yeah,
are. Yeah, I don't even know
what
which
that
one
means.
is which.
He's either earth or a fire. What's your zodiac sign?
Talking to the mic.
What's your zodiac sign?
All right, guys, we gotta give it up.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't want to disclose mine.
Just say it.
I think that
it's not
the
too.
I
Nothing
think
too
that
deep.
the only clue that I will give is rage and waters.
Are you a Pisces?
No idea.
We'll just leave it at that. I don't kiss and tell, sweetheart.
You just
Oh,
say it. It's not that deep, y'all.
You gonna say it, Stephanie?
I'm not telling mine, but my birthday is Wednesday. So what's today? Monday. So my birthday is Wednesday.
I don't know what that.
So
oh,
what-
it's this Wednesday.
October 12th. Yeah,
Hey,
You're a
happy early birthday,
Scorpio.
everybody! Happy early birthday to this man. We're gonna have to go.
Wait,
out.
is that a Libra or a Scorpio?
Hey, we're definitely going to long shots on Wednesday, boy.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Hey, shout out to long shots.
No doubt. It's a Libra.
It's
okay. You're a Libra. Okay.
I'm an Aquarius. We're the best.
I don't know what
We're
that stuff
always the
even
best.
means.
Yeah,
man.
me
What
neither.
are you? Because I want to know.
He's,
He
he's,
doesn't
he's an
kiss and
Aquarius or
tell.
a Pisces. I
I've
can.
mastered every single sign, honey.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God. That's simple
Oh,
answer. Yes
I
or no?
Wait, so what are y'all? Yeah, like we just revealed. What are y'all?
I'm a Cancer.
I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, you give me Cancer and
They both got a street.
and you're definitely not a virgin. So not Virgo the virgin. So all right, guys.
So you're the only one having exposures. What is it?
What was that?
What is yours? Everybody said their sign. What's yours?
I just gave a
He's-
good clue.
He's just
He's a-
ruining
he's a
his.
Taurus.
I'm
Oh.
telling
We
you,
gotta
if guys.
convey
Are
the
you a
mystery.
Taurus?
We just gotta convey the
You gotta
mystery,
Google
honey.
what fire. What'd you say? Fire.
Rage and
aggression?
waters.
I have no idea what that is.
Look,
Alright.
if a guy seriously told us his sign every single time, he's literally just cutting off 10% of his choices. for the
Yeah.
No,
rest of
because
his
I mean
life.
that means nothing. Because
Yeah,
like
it does.
I feel like I'm a Cancer, but I'm not.
Like I was telling you, girls have so many choices these days. They will cut you off because you're a certain sign. I'm serious. They'll be like, "Oh, I've dealt with too many Pisces, not him."
Nope.
I'm serious. I've seen it before. I've seen it before.
Yeah, girls will cut guys off for the most like pettiest reasons.
What
Because
month
if
you
you
were
had
born?
100 guys hitting
It's
you
a
up, you need to
self-sabotage.
find.
I don't
You need
know.
to find
I'll
any
give
reason.
one more clue. So supposedly and I don't follow any signs or anything like that, but supposedly we're the masters of sex.
Scorpio.
Everyone says that about their sign.
Is it Scorpio?
And
This is
then,
one of
then
those
I
things
guess
every
signs
time.
aren't the real
Yeah,
reality.
I guess we're all good at sex.
I
right,
don't know.
guys?
Shit, me.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and close this up. Thank y'all all for coming. This was awesome. Honestly, this was my favorite stream of all time. I think I got so many clips from this. Everybody had really good answers to everything. So much respect to the ladies for coming. Y'all did amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
On time
having
too.
us.
Shout out to these ladies because they came on time, unlike every other girl that we've dealt with. And well, not every other girl. We've had some good ones. So I'm not gonna say that. But thank you. Shout out to the guys, man. Thank you, Julian, so much for coming on, bro. Like, thank you. I know that you have a big following going up right now, and I really hope it keeps getting better for you, bro. You're a really smart guy. I really respect you, and I really think that we think very similar in a lot of things, man. Same with you, Stefan. It was nice to see you on the show, bro. I think that me and you also see a lot eye to eye. Respect you a lot, bro. Thank y'all, everybody who helped out. Donnie, thank you for helping out. Thank you to my awesome girlfriend for helping out because she always does so much. And thank you to Cornerstone Events for helping out in the background with everything else also. And yeah, we're going to sign out. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you. I'm going to come back on Wednesday and do a review show. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Later, y'all.
Peace.